Okay, guys. Welcome in. Welcome back. Today we're playing some Resident Evil 4. We're probably gonna play for a couple hours here, so it may be a longer video for YouTube. I got to get a couple chapters in here. It's been a little bit since I've played, so I want to make up for lost time here. So we're possibly gonna play two chapters, depending on how long the chapters are. We'll see. We might just do one. I have to remember how these upcoming chapters went. It's been a while since I played this game, but I think there's going to be a longer chapter coming up, or one that's going to be more difficult. So I want to make sure I'm allocating enough time to that one specifically. So we'll see what happens. But for here and now, we're going to do at least one, possibly two, but look for the hour and a half long video here. I'd like to keep it a little shorter if I could, but we'll see. It has been a little bit since I played RV4, so I want to make sure I'm getting some time in on it. But so you guys watch it on YouTube, it's no time has really passed because you guys are watching after the fact in the future. So this is more suited to my live audience here. So you guys watching on Kick and Twitch, if you guys want to keep up with the Resident Evil content, be sure to follow us or subscribe to our YouTube channel, our gaming channel, or both channels. We have our main channel and our gaming channel, but specifically the gaming channel is where you're going to find the Resident Evil content along with any other single player games we're playing. We're going to try to keep that channel dedicated specifically to games and games only. But for the rest of you guys on YouTube, check us out at kick.com and twitch.com/HoosierMarineMAK. We're usually live between the hours of 7 and 9 p.m. Central most days. That time may change here in the future, but for now, if you guys are watching current or currently watching, that's the time you guys can catch us live and be a part of the video in real time. So there's that little bit of information for you guys. Take advantage of it. Do what you guys need to with that. The Discord is also linked on all my channels. So YouTube, Discord, or YouTube, Kick, Twitch. My Discord should be available there. The link goes out of date sometimes or it expires, so let me know if I need to update it. And you're more than welcome to join and be a part of the community there, hang out with people, share your other video games and stuff like that. Just whatever you guys want to do. It's a nice place to hang out. So feel free to join us there and get notifications in real time. So if you guys want to find out when we're live and what we're doing, that's probably the best place to get the best notifications and also just to get in touch with me if you guys need to reach out for anything. That's my invitation to you all. So take advantage of it. But yeah, outside of that, we got Baxter hanging out over there by the bed. So he's sleeping for now. But yeah, that's it. Let's get into it. Let's start playing some games. The last episode I played, I got pretty mad at this game. So I'm hoping we don't have a repeat of that situation. It's really just Ashley's huge tits that just it's a little distracting and like I see him flopping around behind me and I lose track of what I'm doing in the game and then I die and then I get mad at the game. That's really probably what happened. But no, honestly, the AI for Ashley is annoying as fuck. I can't stand that. She just makes herself a victim constantly, and I'm always having to be like the hero and try to save her, and it always jeopardizes my run. And I died like probably 3 times during the catapult scene, just trying to fucking get to the platform to destroy the actual barrels. Because, like I said, I haven't played this game in a while. I forgot that existed, so like the whole scene was frustrating. Just dealing with Ashley, she was always getting grabbed by some guy from behind. She's at a bar or something, and some random drunk dude comes and grabs up on her, and I got to go beat his ass. That's basically what happened the entire time. It was so annoying. And then we finally got rid of her. She's no longer part of our playthrough for at least this chapter. We don't have to worry about her. So if I'm getting upset, it's purely on me at this point because Ashley's not in the picture. She's a distant memory now. She took a knife, held it to her throat, and then she ran off. So that's what happened last time. If you guys need any context for what I'm talking about, watch the other episode. Watch the previous episode. I encourage you guys to watch all the episodes, but I I don't expect everybody to sit through like 30 hours of Resident Evil content. So, you know, I guess you guys can live in a world of ignorance then. But if you guys want to know what's going on, I'm going to make a lot of callbacks to previous episodes, previous playthroughs and stuff. So if you guys want to have better context and be in the loop, I encourage you guys to check out the older videos. I'll wait a second here just for you guys to go do that right now. All right, welcome back. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. Brand new episode. Alright, so yeah, we left off on chapter 8. This is where we just lost Ashley. Well, we didn't lose her, but we just got separated from Ashley. Like, she went a different direction and was separated by a gate that fell down. So, yeah, now you're all caught up, basically. And the jury's still out about these bush light limes. I'm not incredibly
Roost, come in. Things went
a huge fan of this stuff.
We took refuge inside a castle, but I've just been separated from Baby Eagle.
You.
Roost, you're breaking up. Do you read me?
What? Chopper.
Damn it. So much for that.
But yeah, the bush lights, like I've yet to test, or like not test, but try them out outside, like where you're out in the heat all day, and like you ever get like a warm beer, you're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna finish it, and sometimes it tastes good, or sometimes it tastes worse than the actual beer when it's cold. I'm curious to see if these bush light limes taste better warm, but I'm not just gonna have a warm beer for nothing. You know what I mean? I've yet to test it out, so I'm thinking I might go do like a little cookout or something, or grill out and have a couple drinks or something tomorrow. Maybe one of these days coming up. But as it stands right now, I'm not a huge fan of the bush light limes. I would probably drink something else instead if it was like a different brand of lime, but I'm not really a huge fan of putting lime in beer anyway. Like, even on Coronas, like Coronas or Modelo's are the only ones that I would actually like consider putting lime in, but even then it's like I think it's a lot more work than the flavor's worth. So I don't know. I'm just not a lime guy. Let's just put it that way. Not saying it's a terrible flavor or anything. It's just not for me. And I'm curious to see what the new bush light, or not the bush light, but the
Having a rough day, stranger.
the bush apples are all about. I heard those just came out, and people are really talking about those like they're really good, but I don't know.
Welcome. Got some rare things on sale, stranger.
Body armor.
What you see is what I've got.
Guess we'll take body armor. I don't think I'll need it, but
I offer repair services as well.
But yeah, I usually drink my beer normal, like without any additives to it, so maybe
You'll
that's...
get some bang for your buck. I guarantee it.
I hate this merchant. I wish he would just shut up, dude. Like, I'm trying to monologue and talk through him, and he just has to fucking interrupt me. He's so loud.
Easy work.
I'm not a fan of the merchant. Let's just put it that way.
Ruby's all rubbish. It makes no difference. The price, well, that's our choice to make.
Alright, where are all those fish that I picked up? There we go.
Ah, I'll buy it at a high price. Will that be all then? We like our herbs, we do. Heal a man, kill a man, they do it all.
I can't wait until I'm done with this trader. I can't stand this merchant. Like, he talks just too much, you know?
Come back anytime.
Alright, let's actually just look at things real quick. What do we need? What do we want? We need more ammo for rifle, which we don't have. We got Magnum. Or actually, we got plenty of ammo for the rifle. Oh, that's what I wanted to get. I wanted to get that, the Stingray.
Welcome. What can I interest you? This gun turns heads into pumpkins, mate. Take this for a rampage through the patch.
And then I was gonna put the scope on it, I think.
You try, don't get your welcome.
We'll even tune it up a little bit too.
This kind of work is about comeback anytime.
Oh, he's actually wearing the body armor. I didn't notice that at first. That's kind of cool. I bought body armor and now my character's actually wearing it. I like that. All right, before the trader fucking distracted me, I think I was talking about beer. I haven't tested out or tried out the Apple Busch Lights, but I think that's next on the things to do list. Ooh, you know what? I vaguely remember this being annoying too. This sequence here sucks. Crimson Flames. Okay.
Sorry to interrupt. Jesus, my head. All right.
Oh shit! A lot of guys there.
Present for you.
Taking a grenade. We gotta go kill that, like, priest or whatever he is. I think they're gonna keep on coming in here until they're dead.
Give me a break already.
That would have been nice if I knew that this was up here before. Probably would have saved me a lot of ammo. It probably would have been what would have been used to kill everything that was in the room.
All right.
I didn't realize there was a staircase. Alright, we wasted a lot of ammo there. But, I mean, true to fashion, though, it's like, when you have a stealth option, you always go loud. So, yeah, it was meant to be, you know? I was going to do this regardless. Waste a lot of ammo. Crimson Lantern, okay. I'm glad I bought that rifle, though. Oh, I remember this. At some point, some of these statues or these little knight armor things, they come to life. May not be right now, but it's to get inside of that room. You have to have Ashley with you, and then you get that chest, and then some of them come to life. I'll open that now just so we can backtrack if we need. I don't know if these come to life yet, but I think these guys stand up too. I don't really trust these guys here. They look like they're just waiting for me to lose my... or drop my guard. You know, they're gonna stand up when I'm least expecting it. Alright, let's see. That's Magnum ammo. We'll just reload that in a second. But yeah, for everybody watching on YouTube, at some point, we'll wait until after the cutscene.
You can stop right there, Leon. Wouldn't make me use this, would you?
Well, after 6 years, that is one hell of a greeting, Ada.
You don't seem surprised. Interesting.
Try using knives next time. Better for close encounters.
Not a bad move. Very smooth.
So who are you working
love
for
Ada.
this time?
Oh, Leon.
I love her.
You know I don't work in tell. Leave the girl. She's lost no matter what. You walk away now, and who knows? Maybe you'll live to meet me again. And then I might get you that greeting you were looking for.
Ooh, that greeting, huh?
You think I'm
Kinda
gonna give
greeting.
up that easy?
Right. How about we continue this discussion another time?
But that answers my question, though. I asked it before. 6 years after Raccoon City, this takes place. So it's not too far in the future. But it
Last
honestly,
person I thought I'd run to here.
it looks like he aged a lot, though. Like, I don't know if that's just me, but he's definitely angrier looking. And you usually get a lot of anger on your face if you've been around a while, I would say. And I don't know. It just doesn't match the look, you know. He looks a lot older. So I was thinking that this game took place like way in the future after Raccoon City. So I guess it actually was less than a decade, so it wasn't as long as I thought. There should be one more note somewhere. Or tablet. Oh, there it is. Ooh, hold on. Oh, I was gonna say, if it was like the shield, the helmet, the armor, and the sword, like in Resident Evil 1, that would have been a pretty cool like callback, but it looks like we have 2 armor. Oh wait, no, there's a helmet there. Okay. Never mind then. Let's see.
Looks like a trick to...
I'm gonna put them around. I think we're able to flip them. Yeah, we can. Maybe that's the one. Let's see what this one is. Is that it? Nice. Okay. Okay, cool.
That should do it.
But yeah, there's Ada, our little crush of ours that we have.
All right. Need to find Ashley.
I think this remaster, I don't know if it was like this in the original. I didn't play the original Resident Evil 4, but like the Resident Evil 4 remaster version of Ada Wong is probably the hottest one. Like hands down, like that long sweater shit that she has going on, the sweater dress, and then like the thigh-high boots. You can't tell me that's not hot, dude. You can't. You just can't. All right. I don't care what you guys say. Like, this is the hottest Ada I think we've had. So, I'm loving it. And there's a lot of jiggle physics too. So there you go, guys. Use that information, uh, you know, in your leisure whenever you got free time and the doors are locked and stuff. But yeah, best Ada out of all the Resident Evils so far. So far, at least. We haven't seen Requiem yet, if she's in it. Alright, you guys can pause the video. I'm not reading all this. Ooh, did I just see something? Yep, there's the Plagas.
Great.
It's like they don't have spiders in this one, but they'll have little fucking spider-like creatures, like little they kind of look like shrimp or like little krill thing, or not krill, but you know, like bottom-feeding like sea creatures, like lobsters and shit. That's what they kind of look like. Not quite spiders, but you know, they got 8 legs at least, so they kind of look like it. I don't know why, but that was like a big thing for Resident Evil when it first came out, or like the early ones. They put spiders in everything. That was like their bread and butter. Just put a massive spider. That way you can get the arachnophobia players that were always like creeped out. Like, oh, if you're not afraid of zombies or giant monsters, how about a giant spider? How does that fancy you? And then they got a lot of people pissing their pants over that. I don't have like a huge arachnophobia thing, but like I definitely don't like spiders. I don't know anybody that does, but I wouldn't say it's like the most creepiest thing.
Christ.
Damn, dude, you got a combo on me. Fuck out of here with that. Alright, I wasted my magnum ammo, but I'm also injured, so we're gonna heal real quick. I was pushing 2 to switch my pistol, and I didn't realize it was my revolver instead. I think this game, or this map, like this layout of this castle thing, it reminds me of the, I don't know if you guys played Zombies, but like Call of Duty Zombies, I think it was like Black Ops 3. It's like it's the one where they started having like not crossbows, but they had like bows that were like enchanted, like you had a wolf one, an electricity one or something. I don't know. I can't remember the name of the map, but that's back when they used to have like the power weapons now. It was after Origins
Take a
came
look.
out.
Something's bound to catch your eye.
Oh, this guy again. Alright, let's see. What does he have?
Welcome. Got a selection of good things on sale, stranger. A well-tuned weapon can make up for a lack of skill, friend. Thank you. This kind of work is about finesse. Come back anytime.
Oh, I forgot it's a ramp going down, but we're gonna try to snipe these guys up here. Oh, I missed. She's not dead? That's fucked. They're dodging by just like moving their feet back and forth. That's crazy, actually.
She said meeting you once was enough.
That was that Salazar guy, the little dwarf guy. Oh, hello.
Oh, you were expecting me.
Okay. I'm just gonna get my ass beat here then, I guess.
Shit.
I wasted a bullet there. Missing a lot of shots and then wasting shots like that, it's not good. I'm back to being really close to having no ammo. I gotta start using my ammo more sparingly. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't fuck with these things, that's for sure. Hopefully he doesn't stand back up. There was another guy, but I'm kind of hoping he's not a problem anymore. Let's see. That must have been the same guy. I thought there was another one with like the little plagas on his back, but I guess not.
Okay, I think I see how this works.
Yeah, I think I do too. Just gotta go around the top now. That sounds like it's below me. The headshots are so satisfying, dude. I love the animations and everything for like the gore of the headshots. They did a good job with it. I think Resident Evil 2 had the best like headshot things. Like you did so much damage to the bodies in Resident Evil 2. It was crazy. I don't think 3 was as detailed, but I could be wrong. But this game is definitely, not to discredit this game at all, but this game seems like they kind of dumbed down the gore a little bit. Like when I shot a zombie in the face in Resident Evil 2, I saw parts of its body go missing where I shot it. You know what I mean? Like it felt, I don't know, it felt like I had more of an impact on what was going on. Here it seems like everything's kind of scripted. Like all the animations, doesn't matter where you hit them, they'll still flinch the same way. Like their bodies don't like stagger the same as when you would shoot a zombie in the leg. Their actual leg that you shot them in would buckle. I don't know if I'm making sense with that, but I just think that ultimately this one they did a little worse of a job with the I guess animations of the bodies. Like I shot him in the face, and I don't think there's anything missing from his face. Bro. Alright, hang on. We gotta wait for this little cocksucker to come through. Alright, we gotta heal. The third-person perspective in this game, I don't know. I think we're too confined to the walls that when we aim down our sights or we try to fight in close quarters, we're just too close to everything that we can't really do anything, if that makes any sense. Like, I feel like I'm in a losing fight here, because I'm fighting the perspective just as I am the monsters and enemies in the game. Like, I'm trying to make sure I'm hitting the right angles and stuff. I don't know. I'm doing a terrible job of explaining it. It's just something about it just feels a little bit worse. Alright, so this opens that. Oh, we do need ammo. That's good. We'll take that.
Sorry, must have slipped.
Nice little double kill there with a kick.
Ahí está. A la luna.
Give me a break already.
Hey, a critical hit. We'll take that. Yeah, it's hard to say if you guys saw that, but I shot him in the head, and he still has all of his head there. That wasn't the case in Resident Evil 2, at least. I like that very much in the remaster of Resident Evil 2. Almost to a fault. Like, I like that more than I like this. I think this is a huge downgrade in that respect. Because obviously, if they're going to add things to the game that aren't in the original games, but then not have it in your next remaster, I think that's a shot in the foot. You know, I think you're not doing yourself any favors. Like, I don't understand why that all of a sudden isn't part of the game anymore, where they're just like missing parts of their body and such.
starting to become a giant pain in my ass.
Pain in the ass, he gets hit by something in the ass. I'm not a fan of those shield guys at all. I think they're very annoying. Hey, I can craft flashbangs now. I think. Oh, I guess I could have always crafted flashbangs. I didn't know I needed the large ones. I thought it was the small ones I was waiting for. We'll save the small one then. We're not going to use it, but I do want to have another flashbang. I have too many of those large ones. Yeah, I've got one more after using two, so yeah, that was a good play on my part. Oh, you can still combine that way. I wasn't sure. I forgot how to craft the herbs, but I guess that's the second way. The other way, you gotta click on it, and then there's like a thing to craft, and it brings up the whole list. But it's nice to know you can still drag and drop there. Let's open that back up. I want to grab that ammo before I I don't know how he has so many things to throw, dude. It's like a never-ending supply of shit. We gotta be quick. We gotta be real quick here. We almost took damage. That was close.
Yes. Cannon. Hope it works.
Okay, so Resident Evil has this huge problem with conveniences or contrivances, whatever you want to call it. The one fight I'm fighting a massive giant. Guess what I have that I can fight it with? A fucking cannon. When are you gonna have that laying around? Especially when the cards are stacked against you. The most trump card of them all, you got the fucking cannon. Like, there you go, you win the hand. Like, a big issue I had with Resident Evil 3. I'm not a fan of Resident Evil 3's remaster, if you guys haven't heard already, but I thought it was an okay game. There were aspects of it I liked, but if you guys saw the crash out when I was yelling about Ashley from the last episode, watch the Resident Evil 3 playthrough, and the hospital scene with Carlos, nothing beats that. That shit pissed me off. But anyway, contrivances, convenient things. At the end of Resident Evil 3, not to spoil anything, but there's a weapon that's like basically the weight of like 4 different Jills stacked together. She just conveniently picks up the weapon, can handle it, and then shoot it at the enemy and win the fight against like a massive boss. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys if you guys haven't played the video game or If you guys don't know, but um, I will say that much. That pissed me off. Like I hated the idea of like just how convenient of a time to have a weapon that can kill the one thing that's unkillable, and it just so happens to kill the thing, or at least buy you time to get out of there. You know, like it's like how the fuck. I just didn't like that. I kind of wish. Oh well, no, we'll wait until later. I'm gonna have a little like reflective, not reflective, but reflection on all the games that I played so far. There's some things that I kind of wish the story did differently, or at least like if they were gonna remake a game or remaster a game, they would have changed the story slightly, so that way, moving forward, it opens the floor for like other plot lines to take place. Like if people didn't like Resident Evil 5 for whatever reason, they would be able to justify changing that story of that game based on the events that took place in the remasters or the remakes of their newer games, you know? Like no one can argue that this game isn't good, but you can't say that it's the original story. Like they've changed plenty of plot devices and rooms and areas for the convenience of just making it newer and like quote unquote better. But based based on how they change those little things, it kind of opens the floor for changing the entirety of the story moving forward. So like I don't know, they could say Requiem is now Resident Evil 5. They could say that's like in the lore of all the remasters and stuff, that's like or not the lore, but in like the way that the story is told now, because it's like the new lore, I guess. Resident Evil Requiem is now Resident Evil 5, and then Resident Evil 6 takes place after Requiem. Like they may not even go the route of saying that Requiem follows Village in the timeline and like the order of the games, because it's if it was Resident Evil 9, it would be called Resident Evil 9. It's not. It's called Resident Evil Requiem. So it could be like a brand new storytelling of Resident Evil 5. It could be uh, you know, like a standalone prequel or like I don't know what they call it, like a game that comes out prior to a certain game's story that you know you can't retroactively change now, but it's like leading into that story now. Um, Requiem could be like between like Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2 and 3. So it's like the events of 0 and 1, and then you have that bridge of time. Requiem could be like I think there's a Resident Evil game called Code Veronica. I'm not really sure. I haven't played it. I have it on my Xbox 360, but I don't have it on PC, so I can't play it right now. But you know, it could be games that are kind of separating other games, but it's telling the lore in between as well. So it's like bridging the gap. Like I always wondered what happened to Chris in Resident Evil 3 because, or Resident Evil 2 even, because he wouldn't have just been gone. Because you know, obviously we're gonna have playing as Jill as in the third game instead of the second for the remasters. Like whatever happened to Chris, where are the other Stars members, like Rebecca Chambers, stuff like that. And you know, games like Veronica did that. They kind of bridged the gap, told the story of where those characters were, or where they were and what they were doing, and how they you know weren't involved in another game that came up based on you know how things played out. Because it wasn't Veronica didn't come out before 2, but it came out after the fact to kind of bridge that gap. The same way that I think Resident Evil 0 kind of did that as well. It was a game that came out way after the fact, and it introduced like Rebecca Chambers and stuff. But anyway, I'm going down a bunch of tangents, not really finishing my first thought. But Requiem, I think it's going to be like one of those games. I think it's going to be equivalent to Veronica, or maybe even like Resident Evil 0, where it's like it's not necessarily the ninth in the storytelling that we have now. It's actually just going back in the timeline and telling a different story, but also introducing characters or explaining where characters were at certain times. Like it may tell us what happened to Ada and how she got out, or you know what she did to survive Raccoon City, or you know same with what happened to Chris while you know all the shit was going on with Leon and all the other characters from 2 and 3, like Carlos and Jill and Claire and shit like that. But anyway, I don't know how I got on this tangent to begin with. I think I was like talking about there's differences in the games, but anyway, contrivances, big issue I have with Resident Evil right now. I'm hoping they don't do that with Requiem coming up, but you know, it wouldn't be a Resident Evil movie or Resident Evil film or game without it being full of convenient things that happen to make the plot move along. So I'm hoping that Requiem isn't a flop, but I don't know. It is coming out in the year 2025. I haven't been impressed with anything that's come out in the last decade in regards to like how awesome of a story it was. Like that, there's a reason why they did all these remasters because it's like, okay, well, we don't have to make a story. We can just make it look good and sound good. We'll just make it a different story slightly, but it's going to be the whole thing that we had before. No one really has to use their noodle and think and actually come up with a good idea here. So there's a good reason why all these remakes and remasters are huge and massively successful compared to newer games that have come out recently. So yeah, there's like a reason why they keep on remastering The Last of Us, but The Last of Us Part 2 was a dog shit fucking game. And then, they just came out with a remaster for that as well. I think it's actually gotten 2 remasters. But anyway, that's a different game, different story, but yeah, there's a reason why there's so many remasters and not any new games that are mega hits off the bat. Like you can argue like there's other genres of games that have had success. Like a lot of people like Black Wukong and stuff like that. I don't play games like that, so I couldn't really speak on that. But um, there's always going to be one or another, like one or two that come out that are passable. But I don't know, man. Resident Evil just hasn't been hitting the mark, and with Requiem coming out soon, within the next 6 months or so, I think it comes out in February. So at this point, whenever you guys are watching it on YouTube, it's probably already out now. But Requiem, I don't think it's going to be as good as what like people are hyping it out to be. Because also, if we're being true to ourselves, we're leaning in pretty hard to the female protagonist role still. Like there's certain things that it makes sense for, but like for a Resident Evil title, I think people would much rather prefer to play as Chris Redfield or maybe Leon and have. I mean, you want to obviously have Ada Wong because she's hot as fuck, but like you're gonna want to have those characters as secondary characters. You're not gonna want to spend your whole time playing as them. And if there's like a separate story for that, like kind of like how they did with what do you call it? Resident Evil 2's remaster, where you play as Leon and then you also play as Claire for like just about the same amount of time. That's fine, but like give us a choice. Like same way what they did with Jill and Chris in Resident Evil 1, and also like not as much so in Resident Evil 0, but they're kind of like the same idea where you could choose who you're playing as your main character. I think if they don't do that in Resident Evil Requiem, I think it's going to be a missed opportunity, and I think it's going to be setting them up for a certain fan base to be totally invested while they also alienate another. So like that could be good or bad for them if they want to cut the fat in certain ways and just make sure that they have diehard fans that'll actually buy the game and play the game rather than just a bunch of people that just might play the game. And a lot of that's based on their like where their political stance are on things, and then how they see the world and how they choose like social issues or social like how they choose to interact in social environments, more or less. Like if they're pro this, pro that. I'm not going to get into details on it. We're still trying to keep this video game related, but I can get in the politics weeds of it all day long. But we probably shouldn't. We shouldn't do that for now, at least. But to wet your whistle, guys, if you guys are into that kind of stuff, stay tuned to my live chats when I'm on Kick and Twitch, because I go off on all types of shit. So I just got to make sure I stick to the YouTube gaming, or not really YouTube gaming, but I want to make sure that this video is more heavily suited on the gaming side of things. So we're not going to get in the weeds of like politics and shit. But my main channel, I absolutely would. Just this channel specifically, I'm trying to dedicate it specifically to the game, and all discussions revolving around the game should be, I guess, I don't want to say polite, but like cordial, like, or maybe work friendly. I guess that's a better word. As work friendly as I can be when I'm looking at Ada's fat ass and that nice dress of hers. Like that's a really nice outfit she's got. But as work friendly as that, just no violent actions, no negative thoughts or comments to each other in the comments section. Like that's not the point of this channel. I'm all for it in my main channel though. I open the floodgates for that, but I also reserve the right to moderate how I see fit. So anybody has a problem with like getting told off or banned or blocked or whatever, sucks to suck, I guess. I don't know if there's a better word for that. I don't know, but anyway, that's the rundown, guys. So if you guys like this content, you guys want to see more of it or something else, I do have a main channel. I don't really publicize well, as publicized as I can, but I don't. What's the word for it? I don't. Starts with a P. I'm just losing the word for the moment. Uh, promote. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Words aren't my friend today. But I don't promote my main channel as much. So if you guys want to check it out, it should be linked here wherever you're watching, either on Kick or Twitch or here on YouTube. It's not hard to find. Just make sure you're looking at the About Me section or the description of the channel. You'll find it where all the links are provided. So feel free to check it out. I won't post it in the video as much. The only ones that I do post in my YouTube videos are my live channels. So you guys can check me out on Kick and Twitch. That's pretty much where you'll find us live. So for the time being, I don't know if I can stream to multiple or more than that based on the one PC build that I have. So once I guess eventually, whenever I level up in real life, like I'll get another PC set up or I'll have something else to make it a little easier so I can stream to pretty much everything that does stream at one time, and then also play the game while streaming, so it doesn't. I don't want to lose quality because from what I can see, it's pretty decent quality of picture. If I go any further with what I'm pushing this PC on, I think we're gonna have to go down to 720, and I'd rather not. I worked very hard to save up to get the 3060 that I have in my PC right now, so I'm able to at least broadcast to 1080p, which still looks like garbage on like a TV and stuff, but on a smaller monitor or on your phone or whatever, it doesn't look too bad. But I eventually do want to step that up. It would be nice to have a multiple computer setup, but also at the time or at this time where I'm at, I think one PC is enough because it's like a furnace in here. It's in the middle of the summer too, so we're hitting like 95 degrees today. It's like 75 right now outside, even still, so it's not cool by any means. So if I had multiple PCs in here, I think we would be cooking, dude. I sweat a lot. I don't know if you guys ever catch it on stream. You guys may think, oh, this is some greasy guy in his computing chair. Maybe true, but most of that's sweat. All right, I'm telling you this right now. Like, there's no such thing as no swamp ass around here. So, like, we're always sweating, dudes. We stay sweating. I fucking hate it. It's hot in here. I love cold weather, man. You know what's funny though? Because when I was in 29 Palms, I never sweat that much, and I loved that. Like, it was crazy. I didn't sweat that much, and I love the heat. Now it's like I hate the heat, and I sweat all the time. It's like the thing is so fucking ass backwards now. I think when I was in Okinawa too, that there was a period where I sweat profusely, but then there were moments where I only had like a slight dampness to me. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like, and that's like when I was like working too. So it was a full day of work and barely a drop of sweat. But now it's like, okay, I'm not even doing anything. I'm sweating, dude. What the fuck's going on? So anyway, random tangents. That's what I get into when I'm on my live stuff. So if you guys are on YouTube, you guys are missing out because we'll go on tangents. I'll even let the chat like kind of guide the discussion if people are involved. So you could be a part of it too. It's kind of a fun little experience for me. I'm having fun streaming so far. It may not look like I'm always having fun, but like my bad days really aren't a bad day. Like how bad of a day can it be if I have the access to the internet and all my appendages work? Like that's any day above ground is a great day. So how can I be that upset about it? So it's all bullshit. If I ever do look really upset, it's like I might be more temperamental, but like at the end of the day, it's not. It's like water under the bridge tomorrow kind of deal. So none of it's like that dire for me. If I'm ever like playing a game and it looks like I'm getting mad or something, just know it's a temporary thing. It's not like nothing said in the heat of moment or the heat of passion is ever something you mean. So just give me like 5 minutes to cool down, and we'll be able to move on track with what we had planned originally. But dude, going back to it, I was playing Resident Evil 4. For those of you guys that missed it, I was playing Resident Evil 4. It happened with Resident Evil 3 as well. I had a moment at the hospital with Carlos that really ticked me off. And I was also just not enjoying the game in general. The game, I have an issue with Resident Evil 3. We'll talk about that later. But, yeah, right now, Resident Evil 3 has been probably the lowest scored game out of the ones I've played so far. And Yeah, it's one of those things that like when I first played it, I thought it was awesome, but then now that I'm looking at it from more of a critical eye, and I'm actually paying attention to things, especially after just coming from playing Resident Evil 2, which was so fucking good. Um, it was it was disappointing to say the least. But we'll go into details about that later. 3 was not the highest scoring, and I have a lot to say about that. And there was a moment similar to that yesterday, but or maybe not yesterday. Whenever you guys are watching this, the previous video where we were with Ashley and then we weren't with Ashley anymore, that one was not quite even close to being a quarter of bad as I had, or bad of a time as I had with Resident Evil 3. That game, I'm telling you, like I'm not kidding. That game really ticked me off. But if you guys saw the episode where we were going through the castle for the first time, I think it was chapter 7. I think we're on chapter 8 now, but chapter 7 when we were going through the first sequence where we meet like the 4 catapults and we got Ashley with us. We had a oh dude, I just brought up her name. She's pissed me off already just thinking about her. But Ashley, her AI is atrocious in this game, and she kept on getting down, and that's what set it off, dude. I just had to keep on going back to her, and she was getting down perfectly timed with the catapults because you had 4 catapults firing, so it's like everyone would shoot at a different time, so it felt like you have no time to do anything because the moment that you have reprieve from the last shot, the first one is reloaded and shooting again. So like you're always moving, and then she doesn't move the way that you need her to, and she's just fucking getting down randomly constantly, and that really ticked me off. Like I'm not kidding, that pissed me off. That's a scene that honestly, if it was like Resident Evil 5 where you're playing co-op with, Ashley being the Shiva equivalent, or whoever's perspective you're playing is, like she would always be moving too. She's a player. She's actually your friend or somebody that you know or that you're able to actually communicate with. So it's not like, oh, dude, Resident Evil 5 had a fucking awesome campaign co-op, dude. Now that I'm thinking about it. I don't know if they had that for the other Resident Evils, if that was a thing for its time. But Resident Evil 5, I am surprised they have not remastered that game yet. I am so surprised. I kind of hope that they do, but I'd have to play it, the original first, to make sure that I'm like, okay, this game, the story kind of sucks, or like this game just doesn't feel right. Like, I don't want to speak too fast on that right now because it's been a while. I haven't played Resident Evil 5 since Xbox 360, but I will say the multiplayer co-op with your friends, like playing through the story mode, was amazing. I think there was even co-op for the mercenaries mode too, like the little mode where you're like doing like a horde mode, survive against like an onslaught of enemies, kind of like firefight in Halo, or horde mode in Gears of War, something equivalent to that, or like zombies from Call of Duty. That's what mercenaries was. I think it always has been, but I haven't played it in a while, and I really have just stuck to playing the story modes so far. So for me to give a game a full like criticism, I think the topic of our review that we're going to do at the end of all these playthroughs, it's not going to be based on the game itself, but the story of the game. So that way, if somebody like says the campaign was trash, but the mercenaries wasn't that bad, or this, that, or the other, that will be like for a separate discussion, if that makes sense. That's the plan for the review. I'll be open for discussion with that as well, with whoever has any good positive criticisms or anything that they want to share on like a direction they want to take it, and then they get featured in the video too. It's like I'll put like my segment, what I think, and then it could be like a collaborative thing. But yeah, so far we're chugging along through these Resident Evil games. The goal is to time it right to where I can have all of the games played and then play Requiem and then do a quick review before like the next Resident Evil film or game comes out. You know what I mean? Because like there's always going to be a show coming out or a movie following a major release, like big game like Resident Evil. So I kind of want to have a review before the next big thing. I just want to stop it at the game, or what I might do is I might do what I'm doing right now, stop it at whatever Resident Evil I leave off on, and then if it so happens that Requiem comes out, I'll do that, and then we'll do the review after that. Like there's no like necessarily rush to get to the review process immediately after I play the games, but I'd like to have this game or Requiem kind of timed up perfectly with by the time I release that review. And I may end up doing a review like at the end of the Resident Evil Village gameplay, because I don't know if we have Operation Raccoon City or Code Veronica available on PC. I know that they had it on Steam at one point, but they took it away. I'd have to I have to look through it and make sure I'm correct on that, but I'm pretty sure it's not available on PC at the moment. But yeah, Village is going to be the 8th game. Well, no, it won't be because we got Revelations and then we got Revelations 2. So we got after this game, we got Revelations, then we play 5 and then Revelations 2. And then we play 6, Biohazard 7, and then Village 8. So how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more games, and then Requiem, and then the review. Or I could do at the end of Village the review, and then Requiem, and then do another review, like a review after every game at that point. I might do that. We'll see where things time up. If there's an absolute rush to get the review out, but also giving it more time gives more people the opportunity to be a part of it. So I might hold off on that because I'm a biased guy. Like I have my perspectives on things, the way I see life, and my take on a game might be different. So like if I'm gonna have an end all say all perspective, I also want to talk to people that have a different perspective on it too. So I can at least experience it their way, or at least have a better understanding of how I want to approach the review of my own. So yeah, because I feel like everybody tries to get the rush to be first on anything and everything, and it's like life is like okay, so life is a competition. Like to say that it's not is a lie, or you're just being naive. But for certain things, it's nice to take your time with and like wait to not be the first one to make a mistake. You know what I mean? So like if there's like a I don't know, like a lame metaphor, like if there's a bamboo trap in front of you, or if you ever well actually that's a bad well maybe if you're a Vietnam vet, you got like a bamboo trap in front of you and like you can't see it, but you're not point guy. Like the point man is the first one that's gonna step in that thing, or like a landmine or something like that, or you know whatever it is. Like you don't want to be the first one to do it. So like I'm not trying to be the first to make an opinion or like make a review on all of the games until I make like at least some kind of judgment call, or not judgment call, but basically having a discussion with somebody that I have an opposing view to, or maybe somebody that I'm not particularly like seeing things from their perspective. Like it just helps with the review process just in general, and just like with leadership or like having any kind of small group, it's like you know there's a reason why it's called a group project. You're all supposed to have a say or have a influence on it. So I don't know. I think there was a comment section or a chat box available. Like I feel like people should be able to take advantage of that without being, you know, like feeling like they can't speak out. Because if it wasn't supposed to be there, I wouldn't have it available. So, um, you know, as far as like communicating and letting me know what you guys think, like I'm open for discussion on anything I have in regards to the games, or you know other things as well. Just whatever's talked about, I guess. But um, you know, I guess going back to my original plans, like I want to have other people's perspectives shared throughout the review process. So like just, you know, feel free to chime in, and you know, there's still time at least to be a part of it. There, like I said, my Discord is always there, so you guys can always join the Discord and start up a conversation there, cuz I don't know when you guys are watching or what episode or like what um what stream you're watching or whatever, but depending on when you chime in and stuff, like that's all going to be like part of the video or the experience. So I mean there's an opportunity there also to be like, you know, if you're not like a what do you call it, if you're not like a really popular person but you have an idea that you want to get out there, that's your opportunity to share it. And as long as you're cordial and polite, like I don't see an issue with showing it. But if you're like somebody that comes in and immediately off the bat is like slurring and shit like that, we're just not gonna have that discussion. And I have no sympathy for people that do that. Like even if I do that, I have no qualms with somebody else saying, "Hey, you're just out of here. See you later." You know, because like sometimes you just don't want to deal with it, and that's how I run my channel. That's how things are. But I try to keep things polite or as polite as possible. And if like, someone comes into the chat and They like I've been talking shit all game long or something. They come in politely, like, hey, like, all right, hey, we're friends, man. Like it was just a game, one of those things. But some people they make the games really serious and they take it like to another level, and it's just that's the point where I'm like, all right, we're done. Like that's the point where I move on and just get rid of the person from the chat. Like that very, I would say it very rarely happens, but it's been happening more often lately. And I don't know if it's me or if it's just the environment I'm in, but I don't know. At the end of the day, it's just a game to me. Like I don't really take it personal, but kind of like how you go on like Facebook or something, you just like shit post on like random comments and stuff, like memeing basically. That's more or less the vibe I get with this. Like I'm not too like pressed by any kind of confrontations or anything like that that happen in the games. So there's another little tidbit for anybody that's not familiar with the channel or whatever. So if you're new to the channel, if you hear that you're not about that, then hey, there you go. But if you're interested in sticking around, then you're more than welcome to stay. Just don't be an ass. All right, don't be. Well, you can be an ass, but it has to be warranted. So if you guys were listening to the story, hopefully you guys understand my position on things. But like, I guess like be polite or be cordial or as cordial as can be. And like I said with the Ada Wong thing, it's like be work appropriate or as as appropriate as a conversation is warranted. Like don't be like, all right, so what I hate, like not to change topics, but like what I hate the most is like when I'm telling a story or something, and then like midway through, somebody just like is responding, but like not to what I just said, but they're also like completely not even on the topic. And it's like, well, damn, dude, now you just interrupted me. Now I'm on a different topic. What do you want to talk about? And then they don't act like they know what I'm talking about from the beginning, and it just draws the conversation out unnecessarily, but it also takes away from the original point. So now, I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't happen like often either, but like when it does happen, that throws me off so bad. Just because like I'm already bad about staying on topic. But well, not that I'm not good at staying on topic. It's just that when I'm how do I phrase this? When I'm mid thought on an idea, I can't move on until I'm done with it. So I always try to double back if I get like segued off or something from a different tangent or whatever. And it takes me a hot minute to get through, and sometimes it's frustrating, dude. I'm not gonna lie, it's frustrating sometimes. But sometimes when that happens, it's also while the game is also kind of pissing me off. So I'll go and doubling back again. Not well, maybe not doubling back, but going back to the idea of like things that tick me off in the chat. If I'm already having a bad day in the game and you could tell, like it might be wise to just maybe lurk around a while. Maybe now is not the time to come in and say, "Hey asshole, I don't like how you fucking teabag me in the game or whatever." Like don't that's not the time, dude. Just give it a minute. Like I've had so many situations like that in Dead by Daylight lately where I'm playing the game and I'm just playing the game the way it's supposed to be. Or God forbid, I go to let my dogs outside so they get to use the potty because my dogs aren't going to wait. Like, all right, you want to tell my dogs to wait until after the match to go take a piss? Like, no, fuck you, asshole. I'm taking my dogs out right now. I thought I had a little bit more time, but nature calls, so I stepped away. And then, while I'm away, I make a snack for myself or something. Like, I'm like, hey, cool, I'm already passed through. Let's not make a waste of this trip. So we, double up on a couple other tasks. And it takes like maybe 3 minutes to get back, right? I'll have motherfuckers come into the game or in my Twitch after the game or during the game, and they're just like, basically like, dude, what the fuck, dude? Like, where you at, motherfucker? And then, like, I don't know. It's like, is that necessary? Like, just fucking chill out, play the game at your own pace. Like, I'm not dead. You don't have to rescue me. But like, if something happens, like, I'll be right back. Like, it's not gonna take me all day. But also, like it wasn't long at all. Like I'm back from my trip before I even have a single crow on, and they're flipping out. And I think the most damaging thing about Dead by Daylight right now is that with that game, the killers already know basically where you are at the rip, and you all spawn together now, like before. But you used to have a offering to do that. Now it's just part of the base game experience. And as a killer that plays fairly often, I generally know how far the survivors are going to be from me and where they are. So I just go right to the first generator location I see that's close to where I think they are, and I find them all, you know. And it's like I'll be in situations like that where I'm AFK, and yeah, of course, like I'm on my second hook in the first 30 seconds of the game because I was only gone for a minute, and there's a guy already knowing where we're at, and I'm already on second hook skipping my skill checks and shit. I don't know, man. Like I just with that game, a lot of the people I play with lately have been fucking dirtbags. Not dirtbags. That's too harsh. They just been what do I want to call them? I've been saying assholes, but I think since we're all assholes, that's not really describing them properly because then they're just like you and me. Like they're not like you and me. They're unhinged assholes, but maybe that's a step up from assholes. Unhinged. Yeah, I like that. We're going to use that. They're unhinged assholes and they just need a little grease, I can't talk. A little lubricant. There we go. Jesus. They they need a little lubricant to just, uncrease that asshole of theirs or unpucker it because it's like they're such unhinged assholes. You think of hinges, they squeak when you don't have grease on it. That's the idea I'm going for. You just gotta get a little grease on the little inside of the hinge there for the asshole, and that's all you need. And it's not an unhinged asshole anymore. And I think for me, my way of just easing into a decent situation with people is just like if you see I'm already having a bad day, just give me like 5 minutes. That's my lubricant. All right, I'm an unhinged asshole in that moment, and two unhinged assholes together does not make a good pair. So, um, let's just not go there. All right, that's more or less the story, the long form story. TLDR to anybody tuning in just now and still watching on YouTube. I do apologize. This is a long story, but anyway, this is more what you get on live and with Kick and Twitch. So follow us there if you guys get a chance. Should be linked in the video down in the description, but in the off chance it's not, let me know in the comment section or whatever. And anyway, fuck, I just got there. There we go. I just segued myself. I don't know what direction the conversation was going before that. Let me try to retrace my steps here. This is where live chat comes in clutch. They let you know, they're like, hey man, I was listening. You were talking about unhinged assholes. Like you went down a whole tangent on that. It's like, okay, thanks for reminding me, and then we move on from there. That's not as commonplace as I'd like it to be, but the few times it does, it's like, dude, hey man, hey, how's it going? Welcome in, like that kind of situation. Like it's just like it's a pleasant surprise that like someone's at least like hanging out, taking advantage of the time I'm giving them. But dude, it's been rough the last few times I've streamed, so that's why I cut it down to 4 hours, just because I'll have a lot of encounters like that where just people just don't know how to keep it in the game, and then they just come into Twitch and make things worse. And yeah, I'm guilty of that too, but I'm not talking about me right now. I'm talking about them. And that kind of drew me away from the game now. So I'm gonna start playing Resident Evil for the time being. So if you guys are here watching live on Kick or Twitch, so this is the issue I'm having here. Actually, real quick, I'm having an issue of forgetting that I'm making a YouTube video and I'm also talking to live chat. So this might end up being a longer YouTube video. So if you guys aren't about it, I do apologize. But I don't want to break the video up and make it inauthentic. So we're going to have it all together. If I'm speaking to YouTube now, but I feel like I'm having a conversation as if I'm talking to somebody in chat and in real time. So it's a little different. And so that was the thing that got me off the topic I was talking about before. This is where live chat would remind me where I left off, but now I'm taking a second to remember back, and I can't exactly remember how I got to that tangent. So my tangent wasn't really a tangent, it was more or less explaining. It was like a parentheses, but it was a long-winded parentheses, and now I'm stuck on the original topic. I know that we're still paused. We're supposed to be playing a game. They're like, yeah, hey, buddy, the original topic was the fucking video game we were playing. We were playing Resident Evil 4, man. And I paused the game, and here we are. Like, this is what happens when you're on drugs, kids. You space out, and you fucking forget where you're at. Or dementia, or, any other kind of mental disorder you got. Like, real disorders, not some made-up shit. I don't have any good examples at the time, but you guys will comment in the comment section below, I'm sure, or in the chat. All right, anybody watching, remember what I was talking about? This is where also clipping back would be so clutch. Unfortunately, if I try to clip on my phone, it stalls the stream, so that, like I'll lose like a little bit of my bandwidth dedicated to my like my upstream or my uploading speed for my internet, and that that kind of stalls out like I don't know if I'm double explaining it here, but it stalls out the stream when I'm trying to make a clip on my phone or through the system I'm already operating on, and there's not really much I can do there hardware wise. It's just all ISP, and uh, Comcast or Xfinity or whatever you want to call it is already very limiting without it getting too expensive, and that's kind of the temporary issue that we're having right now with our setup that we have. We're also operating on one PC, so I really can't complain too much. Like there's always going to be some kind of issue, but that's kind of the fun thing about doing this. It's kind of what streaming reminds me of when I was a radio operator in the Marine Corps. That's why I'm actually like I want to say I enjoy it, but there's a lot of things that I don't like about it. Well, I guess that's the same thing about my job in the Marine Corps. There's certain things that just suck inherently that you have to do, but um, this whole thing about streaming, there's always troubleshooting going on. Like, oh, why isn't my game opening up? Oh, let me go download the update. Oh, it turns out it's Steam. Now I gotta wait for Steam to update. I think they do Tuesday like updates at some point in the day. So if you're playing on a Tuesday, there's a good chance you might have a little drop from your network just because the game or whatever is operating through Steam crashed because Steam had to update. That used to happen all the time when I was playing DayZ. I remember that much. It hasn't happened so often lately. I think I've been good about staying away from that hour that they're updating. But if you're ever streaming or playing games on Tuesdays, just know that happens from time to time. And I think it may even cause issues if you're not even playing a game or doing anything. You just have Steam active or open in the background. That may cause the issue as well. But that's what I've been running into. Anyway, troubleshooting. I think I like doing this because there's always a way to figure out how to make things work just by like breaking it down like per device or per category. I don't know. There's a better way to describe what I'm trying to convey to you guys, but there's just I don't have the words today. It's just escaping me. But yeah, like it could be like my I don't know one of my cables is dislodged or my graphics card hasn't had an update for the driver, or it could be that I'm not signed in on my account on Twitch or Kick or YouTube, or you know, could be my router is down. Like maybe I don't have power. You never know. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of challenges, and I think that's what I enjoyed the most about my job in the Marine Corps. And I kind of miss doing that, but I just know that I wouldn't be able to keep up pace with what I used to do, and at that point you're more of a liability to the team. So it's like, all right, well I just got to get out of the way so somebody else can do it better, because otherwise I'm gonna get somebody hurt or get myself hurt. Like my body started falling apart quick, dude. Like I lost ability that I used to have with my legs, my fucking shoulder, neck, and back. Like everything kind of went to shit. Anywhere there's a joint, it got fucked up, and yeah, it sucks because I wanted to make a career out of it, but a lot of things happened all at once. It was kind of the right decision, but I don't know. If I had to do it again, I would try to stay in longer. Because I feel like once you get out, it's kind of all done with then. Like if you, say for instance, got hurt or something, and you just don't have, you lose your TRICARE benefits, you lose your like basically free medical and dental care, and then any kind of other insurance you would have or any kind of benefits that you would get in the military, it kind of just goes out the window. Like you get the VA when you get out, but there's no one holding your hand or trying to teach you the ways to make it work for you, and you're basically just going without for so long. And yeah, just I don't know. It's like one of those things that they don't really prepare you for when you're getting out of the Marine Corps. And I wish that I had more time to have had the decision so I could have time to think and reflect on it. But I think when I was getting out of the Marine Corps, that's when COVID was going on. My mom got sick with well, not so COVID related illness, right? So like she had like a basically like a high A1C count due to COVID. Basically, she went into like a diabetic coma or near to coma, and it was all during COVID. That's when like they would just like leave you in the room to die. You know, like they're like, all right, hey, we're not gonna touch this person. We don't know what they got. Like, think of like the movie like Outbreak. That's basically what all the hospitals were in the country, and it's like one of those things that if like it was that dangerous, like that's a major CDC failure, and like if we're gonna be funding these people, I need to make sure that we're sending them the right kind of money because like if that shit happens again, like you know if it's as bad as they made it out to be, like that's the end of civilization on the world as you know it, and they're fucking around with that shit. But like it's like like not like a natural like thing. It's like they're doing that so they can figure out how to kill other people. Like that's basically like the equivalent to like assured destruction through like nuclear warfare. It's like you just did that with a biological virus, basically, and you know that's the shit that is so dangerous. Like it doesn't have to be that way, you know. So, um, yeah, we're going down a lot of tangents here, guys, on YouTube. We're not any longer playing the game. It's now we're having discussions here. Maybe I should put a nail in that one for now. If you guys want me to come back to that. That's a tangent that I don't want to go down right now, but I gave a little bit to wet the whistle. All right, if you guys are interested in that, we'll talk about that later. I think we're due to get back to this game pretty soon here. I think we've been standby for too long. How long has it been since I started moving my character? We're at an hour and 20 minutes, hour 22, 36, 37, 38. Um, that that is another discussion for another day. We'll we'll let chat. Well, actually, yeah, this is for the live viewers. Would you guys tune in? Like that's how we're gonna start the day. All right. So let me know in the chat what you guys want to talk about, and we'll let the conversation be led through that. All right. That's what we'll do. But we won't talk about that for now. We're gonna leave that with a nail in it, and or a bookmark. We'll bookmark that for later. But right now, we gotta get back to this game. It's been I don't know how long since we've moved this character. I don't know where we're at. Oh, you know what? No, we just got back to the cannon. So we just got past the ogre throwing shit at us. Now we're at the cannon. The convenience, the contrivance of Resident Evil, the bane of my existence. The Jill equivalent with a railgun equivalent moment in Resident Evil 4. That's where this all fucking started. That's why I paused the game. Dude. How long of a conversation was that? I gotta watch the VOD later. That seems like at least half an hour. At least. Anyway, that's for me later. That's my live chat message to myself later. Returning to game. This is my runtime for the entire campaign. There is an achievement, and there's also in-game trophies, or whatever you want to call it. Excuse me. Got something bothering my eye for a moment. I think it's actually just looking at this monitor for so long. I might have to put glasses on. I'm going to put sunglasses on. It's going to look like really stupid here, but I think I need something to shade me from the like the bright light coming from the monitor. When you stare at the monitor for so long, you get like really dried-eyed. Yeah, so that's the whole thing. We fucking spent that whole time talking just to come around to the point that I originally made where Jill Valentine so I also don't like Resident Evil 3. That's also been stated. I'm going to keep saying it. I really don't like Resident Evil 3. It's that's another conversation, but also recommend that you guys check out my previous episode on YouTube from this video here. That's going to be the context for that whole conversation. Whenever, maybe not this video, I recommend checking out Resident Evil 3. I got the playlist linked in my videos on YouTube, so if you're watching on my gaming channel, just you watch an episode, the next episode will be in that season or that that playlist or the game itself. Like think of every episode as or every video as an episode in a show, and then the season is the game. We're currently on season 4, if that makes sense to anybody, Resident Evil 4, and I would advise you guys to check out season 3, and all the other seasons. So like Resident Evil 0, 1, 2, 3, and then now 4, and so on and so forth. We're going to be playing the other games now soon, but I recommend, or I hope that you guys would take the time to watch those, so you guys have full context. You guys know what's going on. But I'm still inviting everybody to come in and chat and say hello and be a part of the experience in real time. Also, for anybody that is looking to share their perspectives or comment on the videos, what they think, all that kind of stuff. This is the time I invite you guys to check it out. I don't know when you guys are watching it on YouTube. It may be a year from now. It may have already happened, but this is my time to just restate it, and I guess this is my way to promote my own channel, so I'm just taking a moment to self-promote, I guess. So I think all that being said and done, we're going to move on to the game now. Like I said, check out the channels. They all should be linked down below. That goes for you too, Twitch and Kick, if you guys are watching there too. But all right, let's get into this game, shall we? Let me just take another drink of my beer. Not sure how I feel about the Busch Light Lime. The jury is still out on that one. All right, let's go. That counterweight's gonna send the can up into the top deck.
¡Ay, es imposible!
Oh, that's not one of the yellow ones. Okay. I said it in Resident Evil 2. I think it'd be kind of nice if you had the ability to have your flashlight and toggle it on and or off whenever you wanted. It kind of sucks that most, if not all, the Resident Evil games, there's no flashlight on your gun. I think maybe Resident Evil 6 has that, though, actually. I have to replay it. Haven't played it in a while. I think they just stuck with the usual like handheld flashlight combo with the pistol. And I'm not sure if other weapons have that ability. Like, they have the ability to have attachments like that, besides scopes or lasers. I guess now would be the time, if you guys are live watching, to let me know. But if you're in YouTube comment section, maybe I haven't found out yet, so comment would be appreciated there. Let me know if that's what you guys are seeing with the other games as well. Alright, I didn't get the one that was down below. Yeah, we're gonna go back down there and do it. Alright, so one thing about this game I'm not a huge fan of, instead of taking the ladder down, he'll just jump down like 15 feet. At least 15 feet. Because you gotta think he's like, I don't know, 6 foot. It's probably about 3 of him, maybe 1.5. Or I'm not 1.5, 2.5. Like, you really don't have any, I guess, concept of dimensions here, because you're going off the assumption that he's a tall guy. He could be like a dwarf or something, just like his physique and his body structure looks like he's tall. Because look at these doorways. Like, what do you think these doorways are? In fact, forget that. How big do you think these bricks are? Like, we're thinking that ogre up there is a big ogre. It could just be a normal-sized ogre. And we're the ones that are small, you know? He's not really like a giant like we think. Is that making any sense to anybody? Or am I just a dumbass? Oh, well, I'm still a dumbass, but like, if you guys are picking up what I'm putting down, then maybe I'm not as dumb as I think.
Get ready.
We're assuming this thing's loaded too. Right in the eye.
Adios, you son of a bitch.
Oof. You guys ever seen The Patriot with Mel Gibson, where the guy gets hit by a cannonball? Bro, that scene was fucking wild, bro. That shit happened in real life too. Those older
All right,
movies are so good.
Open for traffic.
Alright, let's see. We don't need to go back down for anything backwards, but we'll have to drop down here, I believe, to have a way to go back if we want to. That's what it sounded like. Yeah, okay, it opened up this gate. Yeah, this is the bottom floor, so this will lead us all the way back. So eventually we won't be able to go through this way, but we'll be able to have the ability to backtrack here briefly. I believe once we make a full loop here, we double back this way. I gotta remember... Okay, so this is our objective here. That's... Oh, no, it'd be right here. I think it opens up here, because this would be the... No, it wouldn't be there. Maybe it connects to here, and then we double back this way around. Because we're eventually going to have the ability to come back for this. There's going to be a scene at some point, I think in this main building again, where we're going to have flying plagas, or whatever they call them. Basically the like the plague virus, or not the plague virus, but the virus that they are using isn't even like really a virus. It's a biological creature that's like, you know, think of like a mosquito larva. It's like that's what they're injecting into people, and that's what they're like, that's why they're all infected now. And like those spider things, that's like one of those, like all grown up but not even at full form yet. You know what I mean? Yeah, and then there's flying ones. So that's coming up soon. Not to spoil anybody's surprise or suspend anybody's disbelief or anything. I don't know what the phrase is, but I think when we come back over here, there's a scene where it's like a... an aviary? I think that's the word for it, where you house like flying creatures. Like if you were a dinosaur collector, you'd have pterodactyls. You had birds, you'd have birds. This would be flying plagas, basically. They kind of look like cockroaches, though, in this game. I'd have to get a better look. We'll see that coming up soon. But I think that's the next chapter. I don't know if that's this chapter here. I think once we get a conclusion for the chapter, that'll be the end of it. But it's usually a cutscene that'll lead into a chapter's end. Like when we met Ada, that was the start. Not even the start. It was like halfway point of the chapter. No, I would say maybe the first quarter of it, maybe. They had that little cutscene. Where was that? Where'd that take place? Not the wine cellar. The bindery. This is where we did it. Because there's like the shelves there, or tables. We had the puzzle for the room, I think, was like right here or on the wall itself. Yeah, it was on the wall. And then the wall turned into a door, and the door opened up. And that's where we started the cave. Or not the cave, but the castle, like, border or the wall. Oh, dude. And out here, those cannons are like naval guns, essentially. Because that's a river. Or like a large body of water. Or a moat. I guess it's more of a moat. These would be cliffs. I wish this was a topology map, so you'd actually be able to see elevation changes. That'd be really cool. But this is all just like a picture of the top-down look. So it's like kind of like if an aircraft or something took a photo with a still image. That's what it would look like from the bird's eye view. And I guess it's got more like the blueprints of the building. So it's like bird's down view, and it's got details of structures, at least. Like you have the blueprint of the structures. Some of these you don't, which is kind of unfortunate, because you kind of wonder if like those would be add-on areas. Like if you had like a DLC, or like if there was like the campaign was a live service, they would have these as like DLC. Like maybe like a co-op mode or something. You play with that as like an extension to the game. Because like if you ever play Gears of War, you have Dom's perspective and then Phoenix's or Marcus's perspective. You may be going through an area, But then there's like the A or B side where you choose like left flank or right flank, or you take the top floor or the bottom floor. Um, they they do that from time to time with Gears of War, especially. At least from what I can quickly recall. Um, this would be a cool add-on. I know we're not going to have access to these areas here, but it may be one of those scenarios where it would be nice to have um, the layout there and have access to it from a different perspective. Like, say, if I'm playing as Leon right now, if there was like an Ada Wong perspective, like the DLC for Ada Wong, if that was just the co-op for the game, this is where like Ada Wong would be fighting through, or, you know, this is where their paths meet, because they actually met up here at the bindery. So this whole experience would be part of Ada Wong's experience, and then when we get to this point here, it's no longer like the co-op. That's where like the DLC ends. Like that kind of sucks because it's like that's the short span of the game. But like if you're gonna charge like for DLC, that would have been a good idea. And I don't know if that's how they did it. I don't have the DLC. We're saving up for it. I think it's still $10. I don't know if it was on sale when I bought this game, because I bought this game only because it was so cheap, because I already own it on PlayStation. I'm like, I'm not gonna buy the game again. And well, I'm sorry, not this game. 2 and 3. That's when I bought this game and all the other games. And actually, no, I bought this game the day it came out. I bought it on PC. So it just so happens that it's in the order of the games that I didn't have on PC. I bought basically all the pre-existing games, and then so on this PC, before I had all the other games, I had Village and I had Resident Evil 4. Along with that, I was playing like the Dead Space games and stuff, but I had everything else on my PlayStation, and I was like, I'm not fucking buying those again. I'll wait until they're free or really cheap. And I guess you could say I bought them again, but it's like, okay, I'll do it's basically like an upcharge. Like I'll upgrade my game and basically get a free game out of it for the cost of like $5 or whatever. That's what I basically did. I waited until they had like the summer sale for this game on PC on Steam, and I bought like a handful of them, maybe like the whole bundle for maybe $20. It was like basically the whole game of the entire franchise for like, I think it was like, I think I spent more than $20, but less than 40 for the entire thing. So for the price of one of the new games, or less than the price of one of the new games, you're getting an entire franchise of older games that you're gonna actually enjoy. That I actually enjoy. I love the fuck out of Resident Evil 2's remaster, but I just wish that they took the direction a little differently with 3. And I'm not gonna stop talking about 3. 3 pissed me off, but the same thing is like I would recommend going back. I wouldn't recommend playing from the perspective of Jill. If you're just in it for the story and you just want to move on to the next game, Resident Evil 2 just as Leon's plot A, or whatever the story A is for Leon, where you start the game off as Leon, where you go through the gas station and stuff. That's the perspective I enjoyed the most. I have not done Claire's plot A or Leon's plot B yet. Likewise with, well, I did Leon's A and then Claire's B, like the B plots and A plots. I have not done Claire's A and then Chris's or Leon's B, if that makes any sense. I don't know if I'm making sense to you guys, but I didn't do that perspective for Resident Evil 2. But that's still one of my favorite games so far. Outside of 1, I thought 1 was pretty good for its time. I just wish that okay, we're not going down that tangent. There was a whole lot of moments in that game that I lost my cool, but it wasn't because of the game. It was because of the cameras and the movement between rooms when the cameras shift angles. Oh, that pissed me off. That set me over. But we still had a lot of fun with those games. I thought there was a scene that was kind of cool that you witnessed Wesker dying. Well, not dying, but that kind of sounds fucked up. But like where the sister, the mutated one, she is in like a tomb, and you are fighting her with Wesker. You basically have to push the counterweights off the cliff, and then it opens up her mother's tomb, and then she takes her mother's head and then like jumps off the cliff or whatever. Wesker falls off the cliff at that point. I don't know if it's avoidable, but when I played it, he fell off, and I thought, I was like, dude, knowing what I know about that guy, I'm so glad that just happened. You know what I mean? Like, that just saved the work of like 7 Resident Evil games. You know what I mean? And I don't know if I paid much attention to the story after that, but I don't think he was part of the story at that point forward. But I know at the end he was there with the tyrant and stuff, but that that whole story at that point was a comedy. But I also still was having a lot of fun with the gameplay. I just went back to start playing that as Jill's perspective, but I didn't get very far with it. I kind of just gave up effort on it because I just had my experience with Resident Evil 2 where I played like Leon's perspective and enjoyed it, and it was a great story. But then I started playing Claire's perspective, and it had so many plot holes and so many issues with timing of like where Leon would have been and why are they separated to begin with kind of situations. Like I, oh dude, Resident Evil 2. If all these games that have like the two-person perspective were just co-op games to begin with, what a game changer, bro. Like that's why I loved Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil. I guess I don't know if I played Resident Evil 6 online, but the co-op online, dude, that's where it was at, man. And I think a lot of people shit on 5 for no reason. Anyway, we're on 4. I'm not even quite there yet. We got 2 more games before, or 1 more game after this before we're even on 5, because we got to play Revelations now. It's like unless God forbid, Requiem comes out and it's like okay, it's the span between Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil 1 all the way to Resident Evil 7. That's like what Requiem's all about. You never really know. I'm not overly excited for the new game coming out, but I'm hopeful. I just kind of wish that things went different directions with certain things without being like a comic series or an animated show or something or a fan made idea. Like the official game like sometimes it's just a banger no matter what. It's a good game, but there's so many moments where like you reflect on your gameplay experience with it and you're like, damn dude, like they could have added so much more to make it better. Or you look at politics and things that are going on in real life, it's like, damn, I wish that wasn't going on. This game would have been good. Like because those things influence game development and everything. So and it also extends like the timelines on when games get released and stuff, because like sometimes things just get postponed or like stalled by war and shit like that. Like it's a miracle that Stalker 2 even came out, and that I don't know if it's necessarily as much of a miracle that like Tarkov's still up and running, but like I guess it's a good sign if both of those are still up and running. But it just sucks that there's a war going on over there. Like it's like I saw a commercial about like conflict with your neighbors, and like when you fight a war, you're never fighting from afar. It's always the people closest to you. Like that's like because essentially it's like a civil war now at that point. You know what I mean? What are they fighting for? That whole deal. And kind of reminds me of a little bit of like the Hatfields and McCoy situation here in America. You got 2 neighbors killing each other till there's basically nobody left in the bloodlines. Like that's on a global scale right now, and it's sad. I feel like it's avoidable. I feel like to a certain degree it needs to end, but at the same time too, I'm not gonna get in anybody's way. You kill my kin, it's fight to the death. I'm all for that. That's the kind of justice I would want in a court. Hey, I don't want other people executing this person. I want a chance at it. Like if somebody wrongs me in that way, like if it's like a capital punishment kind of deal. I think that's what it's called, where like you get like lethal injection, firing squad, hanging, electrocution, that kind of thing. Like I don't want the state doing that. The state shouldn't be involved. They should just they should be the unbiased, or I guess they could be biased if they want to, but they should be the uninvolved mediator of the charges. At that point, I think that's how it should be. That's how justice should be served. That's why like public hangings were so popular even back in the day. It's like, all right, like this is like at least everybody gets to see because this is your hometown. This is who it affects. Like you're seeing it brought to its final end. Like that's it. But even then, it's like, dude, I wish I was one pulling the trigger or like pulling the lever, for the gallows or whatever it is. Like if it's a person that wronged me, like oh yeah, like anyway. Long story short, I don't blame what's going on in, anywhere in the world right now, specifically in Europe with Ukraine and Russia. Though I'm talking about those games because I was talking about Stalker 2 and Tarkov. I think that's kind of how it boiled down to that conversation, that talking point. But like, it just at what point are you guys going to be done with it? Like, how many of your family members need to die over this? It's a shame that there's no peace. That's kind of like the whole message I'm getting to, and that I'm long-winded, so it took me a while to get to that point. But I'm all for getting justice, but at the same point, like it's that's the dilemma I'm in, or that's the dilemma everybody seems to be in. It's like, all right, what's ethical and what's right? You know what I mean? So anyway, So that's the thing, guys. If you guys are watching on YouTube, you guys are missing out. That could be a whole tangent that we go through in the conversation in the chat. So like, feel free to join us on Twitch and on Kick at kick.com and twitch.com/HoosierMarineMAK. We're live most days between 7 and 9 p.m. Central. That time may shift from left to right depending on the day, but for any updates like that, if it's anything major, my Discord's available on all my channels. Just let me know if the link needs to be updated. Sometimes the invite expires, so you're more welcome to join the Discord if you guys want live updates on when we're going live and what we're doing. Also, just bullshit and talk. That's the best place to reach me if I'm online. So feel free to check it out. But you guys watching on YouTube, you're missing a huge part of the show. Like I feel like watching this now. It's like you're missing out the opportunity to interact and be part of the conversation. But yeah, that little tangent we're gonna save for another day. We're gonna put a nail in that one too. We got a little too far along with that. We forgot that we were playing a game. Honestly, we're playing Resident Evil 4, and we just got to the drop down area. We're about to head into the castle further from the defensive walls. I was talking about it earlier. You guys can watch whenever you guys want. If you're on YouTube or you're watching me talk about it multiple times here, because live chat comes and goes. They're not always active. So this little section here would be an amazing DLC segment for a co-op, and even into this point, you like meet up with Ada. From this point forward, it's a co-op campaign until you circle back and get all the way through it. It's a co-op campaign at that point. That would be so cool. I don't know if that's what they did with it. I just know that there's an Ada Wong DLC for this game, and I don't know if they have a shared like co-op experience. So that's something I'm gonna have to check out. I know that they have the I forgot the name. It has Ada Wong on it. That's all I can look at. So the DLC for this game, this point forward, would have been a cool way to bring it into a co-op game. So it's no longer just a single-player story mode. Like, you have to buy the base game to have the co-op, if that makes sense. But then also, it seems like you have to buy the DLC as well, which is the co-op. So that's a shame. But you know what? If you're really into it, you're probably going to do it anyway. But also at the same time, it is a inconvenience that it's an extra cost. I think you should have actually the choice. If you buy the base game, you get the DLC free, but then you're also able to just say, hey, you want to just play co-op Resident Evil and your friend just doesn't want to buy the game, or they're able to justify $10, I guess, the DLC, and that would be like just play co-op with them whenever you're playing. It's like the friend pass for other games. Like if you ever played like It Takes Two, or what's the other one that my cousin likes? I can't pull up my games while this game is open, but Chained Together, maybe that's the one I'm thinking of. No, it's not Chained Together. That's not a story game. It Takes Two is the one I played with him. Is it Split Link or no? Not Split Link. I don't know the name of it. It starts with an S, I think. I'm looking it up right now. I couldn't help myself. I gotta look at it. Let me know if the game crashes. Alright, what do we got? We got It Takes Two. Not Splitgate. Splitgate's that, it's like playing the Portal game with Halo. That's Splitgate. They have a sequel out right now. It's not Stumble Guys. And I know it's not Chained Together. I can't remember the name of it. It's not Among Us either. I guess it's not important, but excuse me. Um, the point is, those kind of games, they have a friend pass, right? Or they have the ability to uh, have your friend play with you without them paying for the game. That's what I think the Ada Wong should have been for people that didn't want to buy the base game. And then if you buy the base game, you just get the DLC free. I'm talking in circles a little bit here, but you guys now understand the full point here. I just said it all together instead of half retarded like I did before. The the Resident Evil games should have something like that built into their games themselves. So we have maybe 2 games that I can think of, maybe one probable that you could play online co-op with your friends, and that's 5 for sure. And then I'm not remembering 7 properly. I don't, or not 7, but 6. I don't remember playing 6 very much, but there's a possibility that game also had online co-op. But as far as I know, it's only 5. 5 is the only one, and it's such a shame because dude, it's like you can't tell me the technology isn't there. Why don't we have that as a thing in every new game going forward? That to me, that's a huge downgrade. When Resident Evil 5 had online multiplayer, but then all your new remasters don't. Like, come on, what are we doing? Thankfully, like games, the only games that I will give credit for, the only thing that 343 ever did good in its life was possibly Cortana and Halo 4, but then also the Master Chief Collection on like Xbox, Steam, whatever you want to play it. You have the Master Chief Collection. I think it'll be a good move if the Master Chief Collection moves to PlayStation because I can't tell you how many players are Halo fans that just don't have an Xbox anymore. They have a PlayStation, right? But they pay for Game Pass. They have all these games. I don't see a reason why you can't play Xbox games on a PlayStation or vice versa. And that's the good thing about the Master Chief Collection. You have the option to play that. I'm pretty sure, if I don't remember correctly, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure they're moving the Master Chief Collection to PlayStation as well. So it'll be every system will have it. That's why they're doing Xbox to Helldivers 2. Like, if anything, I think Helldivers 2 was the first to do it. So, that's kind of huge, actually. Like, that's a big. That's what as a connected gamer space. That's what you want to see. You don't want to have to go out and pay for other consoles just to play games that you enjoy or otherwise would enjoy or otherwise already have. It's just for the convenience you don't have the console on hand, so you're playing it on the one that you do. If that makes sense to anybody, that's what I think the Master Chief Collection is so important for. Is that I think it's like pretty groundbreaking if that's the case, but also Helldivers 2, especially because I think they're the first game that's like that massive that it has gone to that point. I might be wrong with Call of Duty. I don't remember Call of Duty being cross-platform like that. And as far as I know, Dead by Daylight isn't that much either. Because otherwise, I think it would even be on mobile too. Because you can play mobile on Dead by Daylight, and I think some of the Halo and Call of Duty games you can too, unless they're separate. It's been a while since I've played mobile games. But let me close Steam real quick. I forgot that I was looking at Steam, so I had the names all different. Or not the names all different. I was trying to find different names for the... what the fuck retarded shit did I just say? I was trying to look up the names for the different games that I have, and turns out I don't have the one I'm trying to talk about, but we were getting to the point of the friend pass, alright? So that's why I have the map up. We're taking a long time to get to these points. Sorry, I tabbed back in, so the picture kind of got stalled out there. This portion, DLC for Ada Wong, and now she's part of the game. Friend pass that shit, so that if you're a person that paid for the game, you don't pay for the DLC, and then if you have a friend that you want to play with, they don't have to pay for it for you to play with them. But then also if they want to, they could pay for it just to have that. If they really enjoyed that, is like that's their single player experience. If they want to play it again, that's what they own. And then also like going back to it, because if you pay for the whole game, you're getting the Ada Wong expansion DLC free. It's included, so like you're getting the ability to go back and play Ada Wong now, right? As a person that just wants to play that perspective as like the single player experience, they should have that option too. But also, that's how you get the friend pass situation in, so then you can have the ability to do co-op on Resident Evil story. Like I don't know how they fucked it up to the point where there's not like an experience with Resident Evil 5 when you're playing as Chris Redfield and Shiva. Shiva's oh man, she's a piece of ass there too, and then so is Jill. You should see Jill later on. Um, Actually, you see her throughout the entire game. Actually, believe it or not, but yeah, that's a good game that I'm looking forward to. But we're also going to play Revelations before that, and so the reason why Revelations exists is because it's telling the story of what happened to Jill before Resident Evil 5, and then Resident Evil 5 you have following that game you have Revelations 2. So it's Revelations 2 or Revelations, then you have Resident Evil 5, then you have Revelations 2, and then it goes into Resident Evil 6. At least that's the timeline we have moving forward. And then we have 7 Biohazard, and then we have 8 Village. Now with Requiem coming out, I'm not sure where that will fit into the story. But yeah, dude, I think based on the games that I described, if Requiem doesn't come out with co-op, I think that's a missed opportunity. And they have time to make it a thing. Don't tell me there's not enough time to do that. There's no way. The only thing I would say is like for that release date, is that digital only, and then the physical copy comes out? Like, are we like the beta testers for the game? Is that what it is? Like, that basically is the kind of understanding I would take that in. It's like, hey, we're not even remotely thinking about releasing this to consoles. Like, it's going to be PC exclusive on launch, and then you'll get it. That's what they did a lot of times with what do you call it? The Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us, those were console exclusives, and I don't think you can even get them on Xbox still. The PlayStation only, and then you have also the Halo games. But if you have a PC, you can have both of those things now, and it just sucks because like there's some releases like that that come out for console first, even though they were made on PC first. You know, it like doesn't make sense to me. So it'd be nice if we had like a PC exclusive release for Requiem. And like we have all the time in the world, because like if you're gonna say that there's no time, stop making the discs right now until it's ready, and then you could put it all on the same game, whatever. Because you just put the trailer out, you could take all the time you need. Like you guys didn't have to say that's the day it's coming out. We weren't even thinking about a new Resident Evil game. If anything, we were wondering where the next remaster was. So if Requiem's not a remaster, then you guys could have taken all the time in the world and had maybe some modding communities or some unpaid people making stuff, and then you pay for their product like a contractor, I guess, if that makes sense. Maybe did I say unpaid, unemployed, or like they don't work for your company. Like have an outside source work on your game that you want, like what Halo Wars was. Halo Wars wasn't from Bungie; it was from Ensemble. Well, I think it was technically like Bungie co-made or co-owned or whatever, but Ensemble made that game, and that was all while we were waiting for Halo Reach to come out, because it was Halo 3, Halo ODST, and then there was nothing for a while. At least if I remember correctly, that's the timeline of events I remember. And then you had Halo Wars, and then you had the VidMaster challenges. Oh, dude, did Halo 4 come out on the 360? I don't remember. No, I think it was an Xbox One title. I think that's what we were also waiting on there. I think they were stalling for the Xbox release. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going down a tangent here, guys. We're making progress. We pulled up the map, all right, guys. It's been a long, it's been a long experience so far, but we got the map going, all right. Now we're gonna get back into the game. But anyway, we're gonna come back to that topic, or I can't talk. Talking point topic. Sorry, I'm mixing two words together while I'm trying to, get my adrenaline going back into the game, dude. This is a pretty hype campaign, but we still have that giant ogre throwing shit at us. No, we don't actually. We shot his eye out. So no, we're moving forward now. Okay, so that's where we left off. I apologize, everyone. All right, so now we have the ability to backtrack if we need to for that chest that I showed you guys. But now we're going this way to go on with the campaign. He fell off this cliff, and dude, I don't know how far. We're back on the map, the fucking dreaded map. I don't know how far down this goes. That could go down a whole mile. Like, you could be up in the sky for all we know. Like, I assume that's the river, but that could just be a hole in the ground, and it's, 1,000 feet down at least. You ever seen Game of Thrones when the chick is in the castle? She gets dropped out of the castle from her husband. I forgot the name of the characters, She was trying to assassinate or murder one of the other girls. She was just throwing people down there. Anybody she didn't like, she was throwing down the hole, and then she got thrown down the hole herself. I wonder how far down of a drop that is, because I never read the books of Game of Thrones or anything, but I watched that scene. I was like, dude, she's falling. I mean, she could be falling down like 10 feet down to a pillow. How do I know? You know? But that's one of those scenes that always stuck with me. But I'm curious now if this on this map right here. I don't know if you guys can see it well. I got sunglasses on. No, you can't. It's a little dark. But this river that I assumed was water, it could just be like a cliff, and that's just the sky down below, or like a cloud down below. Hey Jesse, how you been? I feel like I've seen your chats, but I think if you chatted last time, I completely saw it, but I didn't respond to it. And I was in the middle of a topic, and I couldn't stop talking about it. Otherwise, I would never finish the topic, so I just had to talk through it. And then I think by the time I responded, I think you and Peach were already gone. And yeah, that's basically it, I guess. I don't know if you were still there when I responded, but I ended up raiding another channel. It may have been pretty early for you. I think it was about 7 a.m. So you may have been asleep, or still awake or whatever, not doing anything on Twitch. But I raided somebody and then I peaced out. But that was that's the story. There you go. We're playing Resident Evil 4, by the way, in case you haven't been here for long. We're playing as Leon, trying to reunite with Ashley Graham. Good, just not long got off call. Nice. Nice. Well, I don't know how long I'll be streaming. I'll probably stream for at least another hour. So if you're willing to just hang out, or if you just want to play a game later or something, I don't know what you're up to, but we'll be trying to keep this episode a little shorter. We're also making this for a video on YouTube, so I got to get through this chapter real quick. So I think at the end of this chapter, I'll end the video for YouTube, and then I'll keep a separate video for like the whole stream, if that makes sense. Yeah, I see you said yeah, but I asked like 30 questions. I don't know what I asked either, so we're just going to move on. I'm going to go and proceed on mission with the story. I'm also drinking some Busch Light, so we're just kind of hanging out. But hopefully your day is going well. Game is fine. Alright. Well, sound warning. I'm paused right now, so when I start the game, it's going to probably be really loud. So just a sound warning now. Alright, 3, 2, 1. You been playing a lot of Dead by Daylight or no? I didn't kill that guy, actually.
Sorry, I've had my fill of you guys.
I don't know why, but this scene reminds me of the scene, if you've ever watched Aliens vs. Predator, where there's like that drop down, like when they're like clearing a bridge that's inside a temple, or like the pyramid, and the ground collapsed and the guy fell to his death. Well, no, she was falling to her death, and then the guy saved her just for him to get stabbed by the Predator. If you've ever seen it, that's what this little bridge reminds me of. But yeah, that cannon pointing at me is not menacing at all or anything. Oh, dude, there's more castle over there. Dude, look at the size of that building. That's wild, dude. Did we play over there? Is that part of the map? Dude, that's what I'm talking about. DLC right there. Sorry, I was messaging my friend. Yeah, we were. My mate changed his name as a joke. Oh, you're good. You didn't miss anything. If you want to, you can watch the video later if you missed anything. I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, you can still walk this way. That's crazy. I didn't know that path existed. There's a little staircase on the right there. So I can get a better look at that castle if I wanted to, can't I? We're backtracking a little bit. Hold on. We cleared this out already, so we can backtrack. I just want to make sure I'm not missing any items behind. Any, like, nooks or crannies. We got a desk here with no key. We eventually come back for that, I think. But yeah, I don't know if you missed anything important, but if you did, you can watch the VOD later. Also, it'll be on my YouTube channel, too. So if you have my YouTube channel, you can check it out there. Because this is going to be on my gaming channel for the Resident Evil playthroughs. So the whole thing will be sent there. What's up, X? He kind of startled me. He was moving around the room. I didn't know he was moving until I heard him climb off the bed. Alright, we were going for... This is a terrible view of the castle, but there's a little outlet for it, too. It's like built into the mountain. Bro. Built into the fucking mountain. That's insane. It's like, picture like, what's the name of that mountain that has all the people's faces on it? Mount Rushmore? Is that what it's called? That's what that would be like, right there. That little piece of the castle that's like the equivalency of like the Mount Rushmore thing. And like actually the whole castle itself, it's like it is the mountain. It's all just chiseled out. That would be crazy. And then all the brick that you need to like rebuild the structure of the mountain are made from the mountain itself. So you're not wasting anything either. You're just making shape of what's there. That's crazy, dude. Can you imagine the amount of work it would take to get a building like this built? You got even the lumber that built from the trees that grow on the mountain. That's crazy. I think older castles are so fucking cool. I think the fact that they went that route with the architecture in the games is so fucking impressive to me. I always thought that like structures in the games that you played in were really important to have like an idea of like the scale of, just so you can better appreciate the scale of the game, if that makes sense. But yeah, Jess, have you been doing any Dead by Daylight or anything like that? Well, I think actually you already answered that. Yeah. So yeah, because you said he changed his name there. Damn, I'm like all over the place with these games. But is the event still going on? When I last played, it had like 15 hours left on it. For what's it called? The Twisted Masquerade. Because I think they even extended the date for it at one point. I'm not sure if that extension is expired now or what.
Ashley, where are you?
Personally, I could do without Ashley right now. Ashley was pissed me off last time I was with her. And I think that crow needs to die. You know what's crazy about Resident Evil? Is like, those are what spread the disease. Like, just like the rats, you know? So like, you see them, they gotta go. And I've actually passed up a few rats already. I didn't kill them. Yeah, and for me, even in real life, like if I see a rat, like if it's just doing rat things, doing its own thing, like unless there's a contract out for it, I usually don't fuck with it. But now I'm kind of like role playing a little bit. It's like, all right, now like this is the kind of world we're living in. Like those birds, guess what they're fucking eating when you're clearing out these areas? They're eating the dead flesh off the zombies and the critters that you're leaving behind. Like, so it makes sense to get rid of them because they bite something off that infected creature you see. They're gonna be infected too now, so they gotta go. Anyway, I think there's a cutscene up ahead, so give me a second. By the way, it wasn't Jinx, so I have a friend called Marshy who changed his name to Boobies on DBD. Have you seen my alternative ego on Dead by Daylight? Alright, so I go by Haywood Jablomi. Like it's like the whole name, dude. It's pretty sick. That's my alternate ego, or alternate, not alias. That's my alias on Dead by Daylight. When I'm not streaming, that's what I play as. So that's fun. I don't know if I've necessarily been an asshole while playing as that person, but it's always me. You know what I mean? Like it's just like from that name. So if I've played Dead by Daylight with people, all they remember me by is the game name. So it's like part of my Steam like logs now, because it's all it is I'm just changing my name. I'm not actually changing my account. And yeah, I'm wondering if that's one of those things that will be an issue later on. I don't remember how I acted as that character, because I was role playing for sure. But I don't know if you saw that stream. It was pretty fun. Because I know you follow Ultraviolet as well. So when I was playing with her when I wasn't streaming, I just changed my name to that. So that way when like we're just playing, nobody's like worried about going to my channel. They're just going to hers. That way when we're playing and she's live, like hey, all the attention goes there. That's the thing that sucks about Dead by Daylight lobbies sometimes. Like sometimes you're in a lobby with like 5 or 6, or not 5 or 6. Well, it depends if you're playing the 2v8 event, but if you have 3 teammates that are all TTVers and you're the 4th survivor, or like the whole lobby's TTV'd, like you have the killer and then all the survivors, so you got 5 players. And the only person that knows all the names is the killer. That's the thing I think pisses me off the most about Dead by Daylight. Actually, that is the thing that pisses me off the most. Because I get stream sniped all the time in that game, and I can't stand it. Ooh. Damn, I wish I had a shotgun. Oh, I wish I had my rifle too. No, that last shot I fucking jacked. I could have crafted a rifle ammo, couldn't I? Damn, dude, what a fucking missed opportunity. That shot would have been so cool with a scope. Let me see if I can zoom in. Especially while he was moving farther away. Oh man, that's when I'm like really dialed in. That would have been fun. I kind of want to go back and do that again, but I don't know when the last autosave was. Damn, I think I have to go to a typewriter to check. Dude, that's the thing that I wish games like this had. I wish they had the ability to jump into specific moments in the chapter. Like, I think the last game that I remember playing that did it really well was maybe Halo 3. They had like chapter A or B, or depending on where you were, it was C or D. Because like I know for a fact there was a moment in Halo 3 where you're fighting a scarab for the first time as Master Chief, and that that specific moment you could load into, and like actually maybe not all the way to that point, but you load up to the moment where you're on the rocket mongoose and you're driving through, and then that's when the actual event happens. But I think in order to get that, you have to play the entire chapter first, and then you unlock those like segments of it later on. Anyway, long story short, I wish this game had that, because I would jump back to this moment where I shot those crows, and I would replay that scenario where I'm just like playing Duck Hunter or something like that. I'd even have my shotgun ready for this one, but I don't have my shotgun with me. I do have ammo for it though. I think when we get a typewriter, we're gonna pull it out. Maybe make better use of our space with our rifles and everything too. Alright, let's make sure all of our ammo's good. One in the chamber. We've got 2 magazines basically if we expend the entire magazine in the +1. So the only thing is that's not a clean reload, because if I don't shoot all of my ammo, it'll just fill the mag, and then I'll still have excess ammo in the back. I kind of wish that with Resident Evil you had to pack magazines manually, and then like if you've ever played DayZ, like to that effect, like that's kind of what I wish. And then the crafting, you actually had an animation you had to go through to do it, or like a crafting bench or something like that. You know what I mean? Like that would have been awesome, but that's I guess the limitations of what Capcom's able to do, or Capcan. I don't remember the name of the company. let's just make room real quick. Nope, go back. I want to keep things a little bit organized here. Nope, wrong thing. Oh, I see what I was doing. If you don't have it selected and you hit Q, it'll go to the other tab. Okay, I keep doing that because I would click on it but not actually click on it and then just hit Q. Alright, so we have all gunpowder and ammo related product there. I'll put the scope there. I'll go there with that. I don't know if I already talked about it, but with the herb especially, I loved it when it was on the paper, because then you actually put the herb on like a blunt roll or whatever and you would just smoke it. Now it's like in a jar and you don't have the same level of like ease of use. Oh, unless you get papers. Hey, if you get papers, then it's, you know, I'll shut up about it. But like, if you had to craft the herb, and then there was papers you had to find, and you know, then you would, or like if you had a cigar, you had to unroll the cigar, and then you reuse the paper, like a blunt. You know, you ever smoke a blunt? That would be like how you would consume the herb. But you wouldn't like, dude. This game has the potential to be so like DayZ style that it's uncanny. Like, it's just a shame that we're missing a couple of game mechanics. Like, I will not... You know what? I probably should hit up a couple people and try to get some DayZ going. I just... I don't know. I can't bring myself to buy an Arma Reforger yet. I think it's still pretty expensive, too. I think it's like 40 bucks. Alright, well, Baxter's over there by the door. I think I hear the wind. I gotta look at the weather real quick. Give me a second, guys. We had storms going on today. There is, okay, so those of you guys watching, there is a good chance that we lose connection or something. So I gotta actually hurry up with this campaign, and I'll save the recording just in case something happens. Then the long form stuff, it'll get uploaded when it can, if like there's an issue. I just want to make sure I get this video out or saved at least before like I lose power or something. Where's the hourly? Damn, dude. They do that on purpose. I don't know if you guys have the Weather Channel app on your phones, but when I open up the hourly tab, it had an ad pop up that took up the screen, and there was like a small X in the corner that there's no way I'm going to hit it precisely with my finger. So I had to click that, and I misclicked it, and it brought up a window on my browser, so I had to go close that. But looks like we have 3-mile-per-hour winds, so that's not terrible. Sounds like it's really coming through, though. It sounds like it's ripping. Let me look at the radar. No, we got more weather inbound. Okay, so there is a chance I'll be losing connection here, guys. They just haven't updated the radar yet, or the forecast. The radar is more updated than the forecast itself. Yeah, so just keep in mind, I'm going to cut this at some point after this chapter to save a video for YouTube's sake. So just so it's on my hard drive in case I drop out of connection or lose power. Oh, that's kind of cool. So those actually work. Nice. Oh, is that since I added bot tricks to the channel? Or is that lifetime, do you know? 4 months, 6 days, 22 hours, 41 minutes. Alright, well, good shit. I'm glad it works, right? Hey, thanks for testing that out. What do you call it? Yeah, just mess around with that for a little bit. Let me know what works and what doesn't. And then, yeah. Can you also see messages too? Yeah, feel free to like mess around with the messages and stuff too. See what works and what doesn't. But well, you mod for other channels, so you know how it goes. So just let me know on my channel specifically if something doesn't work. Just let me know. I guess that's what I'm getting at. All right, we have one small gunpowder. I'm thinking I might craft some ammo with that. How much shotgun ammo do I have? Not a lot. We're gonna use our shotgun soon, so I want to make sure I have ammo for it. And we got 2 extra shells. Nice, nice. So we have a little bit of good stuff there for that. We'll make room for the shotgun. I expect it to fit in this row here. And if I need more space for anything, I'll shift this column over, and then that'll remain there. Yeah, I think that works. What I don't like about this game is like the attachments are separated from the weapons. I kind of wish that they were on the weapon, like you know, you're going through an inventory on Tarkov or something, and you got all your gun stuff all together. Not a huge fan of that with the attachments for this game. All right. Anyway, I think the chapter is about to end, so this is actually perfect for the YouTube video. What I will do, guys, on YouTube is, as long as I don't lose power or anything, as after this cut, I'll have a second segment of the video that's the true full video. So if you guys want to watch it later, I know this is already a long video, but if you guys want longer form content on YouTube, that's what I'll showcase for you guys. So if you guys want to be, you know, still watching what you left off with, if there's an interruption or if there's not, I'm only predicting that there's going to be a power outage just based on the wind. I can hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear it through the microphone, but yeah, it's like our first thunderstorm in a while too. So there's a good chance there may be a tornado watch or something like that, which I'm surprised there's not, actually, to say the least, because we just had gone from 95 degrees during the day to like, what is it now? Let me look at the temperature. I just had the weather channel open. I think it's like 70 degrees. You drop down like at least 24 degrees in temperature that quick. Like, you're gonna have some like real strong winds, and they're saying it's only 3-mile-per-hour winds on the forecast. It's 76 degrees right now, so we went from 95 to 76 degrees. I should be a meteorologist or something. All right, let's get this chapter done. And anyway, you guys on YouTube, I'm making a second video, so I'm gonna cut this recording, and also for you guys watching live, I'm gonna do my end stream scene as if we're leaving, but then I'll quickly return once the recording has ended, and then I start a new recording, if that makes any sense to you guys. There's gonna be like a brief cut, but I'll still be there. It's just we're cutting over, so the extended cut happens. I've done it a couple times. You guys will see what I mean in a little bit here. But, dude, anyway, going through, again, I would definitely keep an eye out for those birds, and I would have a shotgun ready. I regret not having one in this scenario. I had the option to get it, but I didn't have the organization skills at that point. Alright, we're moving on. This should be a cutscene here.
Let's stay back. I might hurt you again. I'm so scared. When that happened,
He's
I
not...
wasn't myself anymore. I was something else.
She must have been terrifying. I know.
Oh, yeah, he's still infected.
too?
Yeah.
It's okay to be afraid, you know. But you can't run. You gotta keep moving forward. We will beat this. Together.
I don't know if I can.
You can. Just give me a heads up before you stab me next time, okay?
Leon, thanks.
Maybe she won't be such a pain in the ass now. I was complaining about her AI being really terrible. Maybe that was on purpose. Alright, so we'll see going forward. how this goes. Let's see the results for that chapter. We're gonna see the results, and then we'll quickly add our shotgun to our loadout. In fact, we'll just do that right now. Oh, I already had it. Yeah, okay, cool. The TMP. Ooh. Nope. Let's go back. Oh wait, go back one more time. Do we take the primal knife out? Is that the play? I don't need this Springfield anymore, but the Springfield sights are nasty. I might keep it. If you've ever played Halo, the DMR, it kind of reminds me of that kind of a gun. It's like, yeah, it's possibly a downgrade from the battle rifle, but it's more precision based, and like I thought the DMR was a really interesting weapon to add to Halo. I thought it was a cool weapon, especially with the grenade launcher. Ooh, I could put it on the Stingray, the ACOG on the Stingray. Maybe if I don't want such a long sight. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, I like that idea. ACOG will go there. This scope will stay here for now. I might be able to get that rifle in here too. Let's see. Dude, like imagine I don't have room for anything because I'm just going out with all my weapons. Can I? Nope. It's exactly all the way long. Yeah, okay. Let's put that there. Nope, go back. I wish I had a inventory space upgrade, but imagine carrying this like many things around already. Like how much weight that would be. Damn, dude. Maybe we put the Magnum away. Yeah, that's a nice gun. We don't wanna make it not a nice gun. There we go. Oh, same with the Springfield. Oh, we don't have space for it or what? Oh, that's how many spaces it would be. So, okay, it goes long ways, like a hot dog. All right, we gotta store that then. Sorry, this is like a mini game in itself, guys. So we're gonna be taking our time with this, make sure we do everything right. Now we can take it out. Yeah, so it lights up white when you can take it out. Nope, go back. I hit Q before I was selecting the item, so that's what it does. It moves forward to the next sequence, which would be to save the game or to go back to the results. So we have exactly 11 spaces for inventory now. Do we take the primal knife out? Yeah, just to make it even. Yeah, so we'll have 8 spaces then. That's equipped. That's equipped to that. In fact, we'll just put that over there so we don't get confused with it, and we'll put the knives down here. All attachments and weapons on the outer perimeter, excluding the ammo and the crafting material on the left. Ooh, I didn't want to discard that. I'm so glad I didn't click that. Okay. I like the loadout. What do you guys think? Does it work? Does it fuck or not? I think it fucks. Let's actually just do that, right? I think that's good to go, right? No, we'll do it this way. Hold on. It is kind of cool, like if you line up your inventory to where it like the picture makes sense. So like the stock would go to that, the ACOG would go to that. It is a shame that the oh, you can. Ooh, hold on. That might be a fucking power play there. Hold on. Hang on. But now the ACOG, oh dude, that scope on the Car 98 or the it's basically a Car 98, but the 1903 rifle, the Springfield rifle. Damn, dude. I wish that the weapon and the scope were combined and they're not separated like in the inventory. That's such a shame. But now that I've said that, the inventory doesn't fuck as much, but it... Dude, it just... Look at that. Look at that scope on that rifle and tell me that's not something you would want. Same with, well, maybe not so much with the stock and the pistol, but I kind of wish. Oh, you know what? I bet you why they did it is because there was some kind of rule saying that stocks weren't allowed on pistols, otherwise it reclassified the weapon. It's like, what are you saying? A gun's not a gun? Yeah. What is it? What would this be? Oh, I can't view it. I want to look at that gun, the riot gun. I think it would, like, part of the trigger housing or the trigger assembly, the shape of it reminds me of an 870, but it's obviously not. It's a semi-auto shotgun, or I would assume maybe semi-auto. I don't know if that's the pump or not, but kind of resembles a Benelli M4 or the M1014. I mean, I think they have a Panzer IV, which is like a clone of it. Socials? No, it doesn't look like I have socials. Maybe I don't have the socials accurately linked, but probably for good reason. I should see if I can link my socials to be my other channels, like my YouTube, my Kick, or my Twitch, or the Discord. I should probably try to do that, but I'm not sure if I've done that already. Stream start time, or stream started 2 hours 32 minutes ago. Yeah, that checks out. Yeah, my OBS has been going for about that time with a couple of extra seconds to spare. That's all you can remember? Hey, that's more than I even knew, so I appreciate you trying it out. Let me know if there's anything else that may or may not work. I just so happen to see that. That's actually pretty cool that that all seems to be accurate. But even if you don't know, is the command, so that commands prompt, is that how you would be able to see the what do you call it? Like, I would be able to see all of the instructions that you're using now, like all the little uptime, socials, the commands. Is that, does it bring up a list for you to see? Because I see a hyperlink there, but I don't know if that's okay. So, okay, it does. Okay, cool. Thank you. That's pretty cool. All right, well, hey, keep at it if you want to. I'll just try to get back into the game. I'm sorry, guys. We are still gonna save this video for YouTube, but I just want to make sure that I had that discussion. But let's try to maybe just get rid of the scopes now, or not get rid of them, but move them out of the way. We're going to look for all of our space, or all of our inventory items to be in one space. We don't want to have separation, because we don't know what we're going to pick up. And the largest available slot that we can have could mean the difference of leaving a gun behind. You know, like these pistols, like it's 2x3, or like the shotguns are this big. Oh, now that I've said that, we're putting the rifle away. Damn, dude. Anyway, real quick before I do, the ACOG, that whole rail system up there, you can mount it as long as it's connected to the like the single like body of the receiver. It's not separated. Then you shouldn't lose 0 with your scope. But you also have like iron sights here that you can use as reference points. Damn, I see bullets in the magazine, but I know it's not loaded. That sucks. All right, we're gonna store the rifle. I was just coming up with the idea, but we're pulling out the car, or the it's not car, but the Springfield 1903. I'm gonna keep it with me because I want to use it when I get ammo. Which actually, hold on, pause. Oh, we're not in a game yet. We can't do it. All right. Well, let me go back to the typewriter. Yeah, we're gonna leave it in the storage. Okay, it's saved. We'll even bring the ACOG in case we. Oh, can we put the ACOG on the? You're lying. You're lying, dude. Oh, hold up. Let's put the ACOG on it first. It's. There's no rail on it, so I'm curious how they fucking attach that to the rifle itself without. I guess that would be true with the other scope too. Alright, well... Alright, I think we're in for a treat here, guys. We're going to continue playing, but I want to make sure I save. So there's a 2-part for the same episode, if that makes sense to anybody. There's going to be a part A and a part B. I've done it before here on the channel, so if you've been watching the Resident Evil playthroughs thus far, you've come across it a few times already. You're not really going to be surprised by what I do, but... for anybody new to the channel, I'm going to really quickly save this game, save the recording, and then start another recording. So we're going to have a brief moment where I'm going to put my overlay on the screen, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm just cutting the recording, and we'll be back. So we'll be doing that right now. Let me save game. We're on chapter 9 now. We just finished chapter 8. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this screen, chapter results, so we can see how we did, you know, just in case anybody cares, and compare it to the other chapters. So we had really bad accuracy. I wasn't really doing too good with my shots, but took a lot of hits too. I think I had to use first aid and some herb. I had to smoke some herb. There's no paper involved, so I don't know how you would be smoking that herb. But yeah, we killed a good amount of enemies. It says it's my new record, but I don't know if that's true or not. Enemies 66 there on that one. That was chapter 7. This is the last chapter. You can actually compare your better accuracy and your like damage and all that kind of shit, all your stats to each other from the playthroughs. Like I started off the game with an 85.9 accuracy, and here we are at chapter 8 with 79.9. So we're not doing as good. Still taking more damage as well. Playtime's taking longer, but I'm getting more kills. So it's like we're getting more lethal, but we're also not as good as we should be. Because this first game mode, like that's like first impressions, or not first game mode, first chapter. That's like first impressions with the game. So you're still learning it, you're still moving with it, and then you know it kind of helps that if you played the other Resident Evils leading into it, it's kind of like a good way to kind of hone your skills before you even start playing the game. Or at least like for instance with puzzles, if there's things that you recognize from older puzzles, sometimes that is the puzzle. Especially if you're dealing with Umbrella, like if you see any kind of octagon-shaped item, like it's going to be the Umbrella insignia. Or I guess Umbrella's symbol was founded from like the garden where they found the virus spreading plant or whatever it was. Not plant 42 or 41, but the original thing that planted the seed for like the T virus and the G virus and stuff. It's basically just like a organic life that consumes the creature that it contacts or whatever. That's basically the lore of Resident Evil moving forward, but I don't know how I got to that tangent. Maybe I should stop. We're going to put a nail in that one. We'll come back to that later. We got chapter 1 for reference. I'm just looking now. Chapter 8 comparison, but we're on chapter 9 now, so it hasn't been added yet. This little icon here is for standard. I think the hardcore is gold, and then there's another difficulty after hardcore that's a different symbol. And also your game mode will be shown here, so it'll show you the difficulty. I think for professional it's gold, and then, or no, it was professional after hardcore. They added a new mode. That's all I know, and I have a separate save file for that, so we'll play that at some point as well. But that's where we're at. I'm gonna stop the recording here for this video. For everybody that's watching on YouTube here, stay tuned for the next portion of this video. We're not cutting the video. I'm just doing this in case we lose power or something. We got some turbulent winds outside, it sounds like, so I don't want to have the risk of losing power, because it doesn't necessarily mean that there's like a tornado coming through, but the strong winds could take down a power line or something, and then, you know, there you go, lost power for the neighborhood or something. So yeah, we don't want to risk anything here, so let's turn over. Feel free to check out the next video. It should be segment B following this one. I also recommend you guys check out our live channels in case for some reason you missed some content and by chance it's still uploaded as a VOD on Twitch or Kick. You can watch it in your leisure there, but I don't always publish the videos, so that's my problem, is that some of the videos are just kind of just too much, and then we just don't publish it, or we just, you know, make it private or whatever. I kind of like Kick for the idea that you can make some stuff that's subscription based, so it's like nothing that's shown is free. It's all like, hey, you want to watch the content, put money into it to subscribe or whatever. But you don't have to do that with every episode. You can kind of pick and choose which episode. So it's like you make it like a premium episode or something like that. Like make it something that people are looking forward to, like an event, like a pay-per-view event kind of thing. And yeah, I like Kick for that. It's a shame that there's things that I like about Twitch that aren't in Kick, and then there's things that are in Kick that aren't in Twitch that I would also like. But also Twitch is a fucking nightmare in itself. So I have to make sure that I'm on 2 platforms right now. My PC I think can only handle 2 at the moment, especially with my internet provider. So I have not tried to stream on YouTube or Rumble or any other place yet, but in the near future we'll see if we can attempt it at least once, and if it works, if it's stable enough, then we'll stick with it. But for now, we're gonna stick with 2. I think we're at the limit of what we're willing to try right now, and I think we've been lucky so far with it. So I don't want to run a risk of doing too much and then it not being enough to like do on a stable basis. You know what I mean? Anyway, shit, I went on a long tangent all the way till the end, guys. All the way till the end. We always do this. Check out our channels on Kick and Twitch at kick.com, twitch.com/HoosierMarineMAK. I said it once before, I'll say it again. We usually stream between the hours of 7 and 9 p.m. Central. Currently, that's the time we're going with until further notice. Expect us to be live around those times. And we stream most days, so if there's not expressed reasons why we're not streaming, feel free to check us out then. If we're not live, then check out our Discord, see if anything happened, if we're doing anything, or if you want to hit us up and see what's going on. Feel free to join us at our Discord. All those links should be provided on my channels, so wherever you're watching, feel free to check them out. And I just updated Baxter's GoFundMe. It's a little late. I updated it the day after the fact, but a little birthday message to those that donated to his GoFundMe. I sent you guys a message in case you guys are viewers of the channel. I don't assume anybody is, but if you guys are coming from that community as well, feel free to get the updates there. That's been ongoing since we've had Baxter, and it is kind of crazy. We've had him for a whole year now, but yeah, he's over there by the door. So I think this would be a good time for me to take a little break as well. So we're gonna cut this recording, and then we're gonna do segment A. But for the first portion of segment A, we're gonna be AFK, if that's all right. It'll be like 2 minutes. I'm gonna let Baxter out for a potty break, and then we'll be back. Anyway, see you guys. Hopefully you guys are doing well, staying safe, staying out of trouble, and hopefully we'll see you guys in the next one. But until then, take care of yourselves.